Hello again, everybody. I'm Stan Severn. My partner, Scott Fitzke, and I welcome you to Penn State football. Every conference seems to have one, a doormat, and Northwestern has been the doormat of the Big Ten for years. It's been nearly 25 years, Scott, since they have been over 500.
It was awfully tough when you look at Northwestern's whole situation. They're an academic school. They have 7,000 students on the whole campus. It's really tough for them to recruit and be able to get the personnel, the athletic talent, to be able to compete with the rest of the Big Ten football teams.
Well, they're trying to win their fourth game of the year for the first time since 1986, but it's going to be a tough task in their season finale because their number one running back and their number one offensive threat overall, Dennis Lundy, has been suspended for the game.
Well, no one really knows why he's been suspended, but it's a bad situation. He's been Northwestern's only, they've been one-dimensional all season, actually for the last 3 seasons. It's been Dennis Lundy. It's unfortunate. His last football game as a senior, he's not going to be able to play. Northwestern's first opportunity to come to Penn State and play in front of almost 100,000 people in Nittany Valley. So it's an unfortunate situation. They're going to have to play a freshman, and coming in here and playing against one of the toughest teams in the nation, it's going to be a long game for Northwestern.
With all that's at stake, Scott, and a veteran Penn State team, any chance of a letdown after the big Illinois comeback?
I don't really think so. I think probably the Illinois game, having to come back, was the best thing that could have happened to Penn State. Also, Joe Paterno's teams in November have won 81% of their football games, so I don't believe there's going to be a letdown at all.
All right, Penn State looking to make it number 10, hosting Northwestern. We'll be back with the opening kickoff in just a moment. Oh, no problem. We're fine here. We're fine. Pretty much. As long as you don't sneak in any 3-syllable words, I'll be okay.
Pick up the beat and clap along to Fight on State.
Okay.
What does that say on the field?
Schnur.
S-N-O-N. Snon.
Bruce, are we going to do a weather panel? Okay.
The Blue Band gives special thanks to longtime Penn State supporter Bill Gilchrist, who recently donated
Do you have an officials panel you want me to do?
for use by the Blue Band for storage in the Blue
Okay.
Band practice field. Thanks, Bill.
Okay.
Don't forget, the 1994 Bandorama is tonight at 8 o'clock in Eisenhower Auditorium.
If you want to, I can keep that here.
In a review of the 1994 football season. Tickets are still available until showtime at the Eisenhower box office.
Yeah. Guy and I alternate, and yeah, that's what he said. That's what he said. Down.
Game in Beaver Stadium history. Penn State against Northwestern. The Nittany Lions have won the toss. They have deferred the option to the second half. Northwestern will get the football first and will be moving from right to left against a wind which is gusting. And I hope this is not an ominous note out of the northwest. 8 to 16 miles per hour. It's a perfect day. Temperature 54 degrees. No rain in the forecast whatsoever. Brett Conway will kick off for Penn State. Brian Musso back deep along with Mike Centers. Musso, number 22. And Centers averaging 22.4 yards per return. It bounces, and Centers in trouble. Will pick it up at the 2. Tries to go outside, but is run out of bounds near the 20-yard line. Centers was almost in great danger of touching the football with a knee down, and it would have been down at the 2-yard line. As it is, he gets Northwestern out to decent field position. The Big Ten officials for today's game: the referee, Jim Kemmerling; umpire Don Thayer; the linesman, Jim Mullendor; the line judge, Don Bauer; field judge, Darrell Leftwich; J.W. Sanders, the side judge; Don Langen, the back judge. 1st and 10, Northwestern at the 21-yard line. As I mentioned to you, leading rusher Dennis Lundy suspended for today's game. Steve Schnurr at quarterback, Darnell Autry, the lone running back, behind him. Autry off right tackle and out near the 25-yard line. Brian Miller, the left corner, the first one to make contact. Starting offensive lineup for the Wildcats of Northwestern: Justin Shabbat, left tackle; Ryan Padgett, perhaps the best offensive lineman; Rob Johnson; Matt O'Dwyer, also a good one; Todd Basic is the right tackle. Gamble and centers the wideout; Shane Graham, the tight end. The quarterback is Steve Schnurr, the sophomore. Luther Morris is an H-back, and Darnell Autry is the tailback. 2nd down and 6 for Northwestern. Wing right centers motion to the near side. Autry on a delayed handoff just tripped up short of the 30-yard line. Would have had a first down, but grabbing him by the leg was Jeff Perry. It'll be 3rd down and 2. 2 carries by Autry. And let's take a look at that starting Penn State defense. Just met Jeff Perry, who made that tackle. Chris Mazik, Brandon Noble across the front. Todd Atkins, the Lions' leading sack getter, right end. Gelsheiser, Yaboa Cody, and Willie Smith are the defensive backs. Collins, Pittman, Miller, and Kim Herring starting at free safety. Some injuries in the Nittany Lions secondary.
I think what we're going to see earlier on, the only chance that Northwestern has to compete in this football game is if they hold the ball and they run the ball a lot and they keep Penn State's offense off the field. And I think we're going to see them run the ball an awful lot today.
Here's Schnurr in trouble, throws out in the flat, does a great job. The pass is complete for a first down to the 34-yard line. Excellent job by quarterback Steve Schnurr, who got it to his H-back, Luther Morris, in the face of a tremendous blitz. Todd Atkins was there in his face. Brian Gelsheiser made the tackle on Morris. That's a pretty good heady play, Scott.
Here you'll see what had happened is Gelsheiser blitzed, and Schnurr saw it at the last second, just threw the ball, and Morris was right there and made a great catch. Big play for Northwestern.
Schnurr has completed 50% of his passes this year, but he's only thrown 4 touchdown passes. He's been intercepted 8 times. 1st and 10, Northwestern at its own 34-yard line, first possession of the game. Autry breaks through a hole to the 40 and out to the 43-yard line. Darnell Autry, who is a true freshman, he comes out of Tempe, Arizona, right in the backyard of Arizona State, picks up 9. It'll be 2nd down and less than a yard to go. Jason Collins made the tackle.
Here you see Autry has rushed the ball 81 times this year for 385 yards. The difference between Autry and Lundy, who everybody has talked about when you ever talk about Northwestern, is Autry's much bigger and Autry has a lot more speed. He just doesn't have the experience. And, of course, playing against a team like Penn State, he's going to get a lot of experience in 4 quarters.
2nd down, less than a yard. Penn State moves across the line of scrimmage. It is a first down as the run goes out to the 49-yard line. Either way, unless it was Northwestern that drew Penn State offside, it's a first down either way.
Good signal calling by Schnurr. I'm sure that Schnurr Caden's at the line, calls Penn State to jump off sides.
We'll just
Here
check
we'll-
and see which is more. Actually, it's about the same. The carry looked to be about 5.
Penn State. Penalty decline.
They'll take the play. It was offside against Penn State. They'll take the play, which is a 5-yard gain, and a 1st and 10 for Northwestern at the 49. You saw the stats on Steve Schnur, who, by the way, splits quarterbacking time with another sophomore, Tim Hughes, who is a junior college transfer, and their stats are similar. Joe Paterno, the active winningest coach in college football. 1st and 10, Northwestern at its own 49-yard line. This drive started at their own 21. Autry, another delayed handoff, and he is getting some big holes into Penn State territory at the Lion 47-yard line. A gain of 4. Phil Yaboa-Cody made the tackle.
Second down.
Pretty good offensive line play thus far for the Northwestern Wildcats.
Here you'll see it right from behind us. All it is an off tackle to the right. They've run it 2 or 3 times for 4 or 5 yard gains. Northwestern can get 4 or 5 or 6 yards on each first down. They're going to be in this football game.
They do not throw the ball particularly well, so you'd like to force them to do that. They haven't had to thus far, except in a 3rd and short. Autry again into Penn State territory across the 40 to the 38-yard line, and the 3rd consecutive first down for Northwestern. Yaboa-Cody made the tackle, but 12 yards downfield. That won't get it done. 1st and 10 Northwestern in a surprising opening series drive.
Just another student body sweep to the right side. The whole line just cuts down. Autry just runs wide and makes a big play.
And as you could probably hear, the natives are extremely restless. 1st and 10. The Wildcats at the Penn State 39. Got a wing to the right. That's the H-back. This is center's number 7 in motion near side. Autry sneaks by again to the 35, the 30. He's down near the Penn State 26-yard line. Darnell Autry, the freshman, picks up 13, and the 4th consecutive Northwestern first down. Jason Collins, the sophomore, number 8 playing hero, brought him down.
Looks like Northwestern's come in with a game plan to run 2 or 3 of the same plays and just beat them at Penn State. It looks like they've seen something in films that they could run the ball to the right side of the field, and obviously it's worked so far.
Scott, it looks like they're trapping a little bit. I noticed that number 70, Matt O'Dwyer, has been trapping a couple of the Penn State linebackers.
Well, you mentioned Matt O'Dwyer. Matt O'Dwyer is probably their best offensive lineman, and they're taking advantage of his size and speed.
1st down and 10, Northwestern. This is Autry, and this time he's hit at the line of scrimmage. Coming in to make the play was Brandon Noble, who caught him in the backfield, and Autry was only able to spin back to the line of scrimmage. But had he been able to spin out of Noble's grasp, he had about 5-7 yards. No gain, 2nd down and 10. And Autry is limping off. Well, that's all Northwestern needs.
Autry's replacement, Chad Lilly, who we didn't even have on the depth chart, so we have to look around a little bit to see who his replacement is.
He's only carried the ball 10 times all year. Down to the 3rd-team tailback now. 2nd down and 10. Northwestern may have to throw. Schnur with time, looking, fires a slant pattern over the middle, is caught inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. The pass complete to the H-back, Luther Morris. The gain is to the 19, a gain of 7. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Gelsheiser made the tackle.
When Northwestern throws the ball, that's when you have an H-back in the football game. The H-back blocks a lot. Occasionally he'll run the ball. Basically, an H-back is a tight end, and you'll see Northwestern's H-backs or fullbacks are wearing number 80 numbers, so both of them were tight ends at one time in their career. But you'll see them running a lot of short patterns, and that's what, if Northwestern's going to throw the ball at all, I don't think they're going to be able to throw it downfield. They're going to have to throw short crossing routes.
Autry stays out of the ball game. Lilly is the tailback on a big 3rd down and 3. Delayed draw to Lilly. Lilly hit at the line of scrimmage. He fumbles. It is picked up by Penn State. Kim Herring to the 40, 50. Herring to the 45. Still on his feet. Kim Herring's going to go all the way for a touchdown. Chad Lilly, the 3rd-string tailback, fighting for a first down, fumbles. Kim Herring picks it up at the 20 and goes 80 yards for a touchdown.
What a great run by Kim Herring. knocked down 2 or 3 times almost by his own team. Unfortunate for Northwestern, making a great drive early in this football game. Unfortunately, again, having your third team tailback having to come in and fumble the ball on as they were close to scoring.
Herring, a sophomore from Solon, Ohio, which is in suburban Cleveland. Now Brett Conway will attempt the extra point. It is up, and it is good. Brett Conway has been near perfect in extra points this year, has now hit 49 out of 50. Let's watch it again. A 3rd and 3 for Northwestern at the Penn State 19-yard line.
Here you see, he had a hole and really never got the ball on the handoff.
Todd Atkins knocked it loose, and there goes Herring, picking it up to 20.
Herring makes a great play by getting away from the quarterback. Almost gets knocked over by his own men.
Good block by Tony Pittman and Jason Collins, and what a remarkable turn of events, and how deflating for Northwestern to march all the way from their 21 to the Penn State 19, and then have them turn it over on a fumble by Chad Lilly.
Well, that's what has happened to Northwestern. Here we'll see the fumble again. It looks like he's never really had the football. And of course, Perry maybe helped with it a little bit by stripping the ball.
If he had a loose grip on the football, Atkins looked like he yanked his forearm or his upper arm to make sure that he didn't have it. And Penn State strikes quickly, but not in the way we're normally accustomed. This way, they were backing up, caused the fumble, and that has been something that has plagued Northwestern. Last week against Iowa, they turned it over 5 times, had a punt block for a touchdown. Penn State now a +8 in turnovers.
Well, if you go back and look at Northwestern's schedule, they started out the season playing really well. They beat 2 or 3 good football teams, almost beat Ohio State. And at the end of the season, they've lost the ball 5 times, one game 4 times, another game have the block punt, and they've actually been out of the game because of turnovers. And they can't afford to do that against Penn State.
Now, their offense doesn't need any help, and they just gave them 7 points. Conway's kick with the wind at his back. Centers goes back. He'll take it 4 yards deep, and he'll stay there. And Northwestern will start out at its own 20-yard line. Penn State has had exceptional good fortune turning turnovers by opponents into touchdowns, but that's the second time this year they have turned in an interception or a fumble and turned it directly into a touchdown. Of course, 2 weeks ago, Chris Mazik did it in the interception against Ohio State. And now Kim Herring, and the fumble caused by Todd Atkins, returns at 80 yards, and Northwestern will start out at its own 20-yard line.
Well, you look at every great football team, whether it's high school or professional or college football, and the great football teams, the teams that play for the national championship or the Super Bowl, always make their breaks and always take advantage of breaks. And you go through every Penn State football game this year, and they've scored points on turnovers, they've blocked punts, they've blocked field goals, and that's what makes a good team a great team.
Pat Fitzgerald, a reserve linebacker, is being helped off the field. He was injured on the kickoff, and that is the delay. Pretty impressive drive by Northwestern, though, Scott. I mean, they moved the football from their 21 down to the Penn State 19-yard line. That's a drive of 50 yards, only needed 2 passes.
Well, that's a situation Penn State cannot get into. They cannot allow Northwestern to gain a little confidence. Obviously, athletic ability, Northwestern does not match Penn State, but you get a little confidence and get a little momentum, it can change the game around immediately.
Well, Darnell Autry, who limped off earlier, is back in the football game. He's number 24, lined up 7 yards deep. 1st and 10, Northwestern. This is Autry. Finds another hole to the 25, across the 25, and drives his way out to the 29-yard line and very close to a 1st down. Jason Collins made the tackle, but thus far, Darnell Autry with 50 yards on 8 carries, and he has run the ball really at will against Penn State.
Here we'll see it. All it is that it's just basically a drive blocking, a straight off-tackle play. It's not a whole lot to it. Northwestern offensive line actually blowing the defensive line out. When you, like you said earlier, when you're getting 6 and 7, in this case 9 yards per carry on 1st down, it is a big advantage for the Northwestern offense.
2nd down and a yard. Autry trying to follow a pulling guard, and he is thrown down for a loss by Todd Atkins, who's having himself a big day thus far, for a loss of 3 back near the 26-yard line. And Autry is hurt again. Number 24, Darnell Autry, the freshman from Tempe, Arizona, who is taking the place of Dennis Lundy, who was suspended for this game by Coach Gary Barnett. Flag. Well, by the time he's done, he's going to be pretty bruised up. Let's see if he's able to come back in the football game. Clock restarts, and it'll be a 3rd down and 3 for Northwestern at their own 27-yard line.
Welcome to State College, PA.
Well, it's been a tough start.
7 carries, and he's been almost carried off the field 2 times already.
Lilly, the man who fumbled, is back in there at tailback. This is Luther Morris, the H-back in motion near side. Autry quick drop slant and fires the out pattern. The pass is complete for a 1st down at the 33-yard line. Just a quick little pattern out to Michael Centers, who is the Wildcats' leading receiver, his 21st catch of the year. He's averaging better than 15 yards per catch. Miller makes the tackle, but Northwestern with its 5th first down of the ball game.
Here you see Mike Centers, 20 receptions, 300 yards coming into the game with 2 touchdowns. Northwestern's leading receiver for the season.
And Schnur now 3 for 3 for 19 yards. I mean, Northwestern's run a very nice, controlled, patterned, slow offense. And they move the ball. Although without Autry, it's hard to imagine they'll be able to continue that. Play fake to Lilly. Schnur firing over the middle. Wide open is the tight end. Shane Graham to the Penn State 44-yard line. Herring made the tackle, but the pass complete to the tight end, make it Darrell Drexler, the reserve tight end. And once again, Northwestern in Penn State territory.
Penn State just playing a zone defense, and tight end, here you'll get to see it. It's just a quick play fake. Tight end turn around, no one was on him. And that's what we're going to see Northwestern do. The quarterback's not going to be able to drop back and stand back in the pocket because he'll never have the time against the Penn State defense. So everything's going to have to either be a play fake or a 3-step drop and a quick pass. It's been successful early on.
And of course, the fact, Scott, they've been able to run the ball, makes the play fake work. Lilly, he's hit again by Todd Atkins in the backfield for a 2-yard loss. Atkins now with 3 solo tackles, 2 of them in the backfield. And I'm just going to guess here that is number 61, Justin Shabbat, who he's beating there. We'll take a look and see who he beats again.
Great penetration by Atkins. Here we'll get to see it. Atkins on the top of your screen.
That's Todd Basic.
Todd Basic. He just runs right through him.
The loss is 2. 2nd and 12. Northwestern at the 46. Schnur perfect on the afternoon. But he has been prone to the interception. Delayed draw to Lilly. Lilly is hit hard at the 45-yard line after a gain of 1. Good penetration by defensive end Brad Scioli. The freshman knocked him down after a 1-yard gain to make it 3rd down and 11 Northwestern. And Scott, these are exactly the kinds of situations Gary Barnett does not want his offense to be in.
Absolutely. He cannot get in more than 3rd and 6 or 7 down situation at a given time. And when he does, whether it's 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 12, he has to make first downs. They have to keep the ball offensively so Penn State's offense doesn't get on the field.
Centers and Gamble in a slot to the right. This is Morris in motion on 3rd and 11. Penn State in the blitz. Schnur with the half roll, looking, throws sideline, and it is caught very near the first down marker. It's going to be very close. The pass complete to Michael Centers. It looks like he's a half-yard short. I would think that Northwestern would go for it here inside the Penn State 35.
That's a great throw and catch by Schnur and Centers. It was kind of a broken up play, and Centers just decided to run out towards the sideline. And a great throw. Schnur fired the ball right where he had to be because Gelsheiser was right on him.
4th down and a half-yard. Naturally, Northwestern will go for it at the Penn State 33-yard line. The last time they had 3rd and short, they went to the sneak. They'll do it again. And I'll tell you, the surge of the forward wall wasn't all that great. Official signals for time, but that may be for a measurement.
But I think he got far enough on a quarterback sneak to get about a 1/4 of a yard and get a first down.
All right, they're going to give it to Steve Schnur, and I think this is very important for Northwestern's confidence to take their 2nd possession and drive as well after a demoralizing fumble in return for a touchdown.
Absolutely. It's been very easy for 3 or 4 weeks now. They've seen turnovers turn the game around. To come back and put on a 50, 60-yard drive right after a devastating turnover.
Well, if they wanted to keep Penn State's offense off the field, they've done it because we've played 11 minutes, and Penn State has yet to take 1 snap on offense. Here's the roll. Schnurr in trouble. He's sacked all the way back at the 44-yard line. Penetration by Gelsizer forced him to move, and Jason Collins cleaned him up.
Here you'll get to see it was another play fake. Schnurr turned around and didn't see anybody follow him at all. There you'll see Collins and Gelsizer, both of them blitzing, not giving Schnurr any time to even look downfield to throw the football.
Believe it or not, that is Gelsizer's first sack of the season. It's his third tackle of the day. He only needs 6 more today to become Penn State's second all-time tackler. He would pass Dennis Onkotz and then be behind Greg Buttle, who is Penn State's all-time leading tackler. So Gelsizer, who had a great day last week, with 16 tackles, off to a good start. Schnurr looking, firing over the middle. He's got a completion inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Chris Gamble makes the reception, his 15th of the year, and a nice pickup because he gets back the yardage he lost on the sack, and Schnurr is 6 for 6.
Well, here you'll see what they have to do, as we mentioned earlier, to be successful. 3 to 5 step drop and throw the football. Gamble turned around in an open spot, and they completed it. We're going to have to see that. We're not going to be able to see him roll and drop and run around because they're not going to have time to throw the football.
That's not really Schnurr's game either. I'll tell you one thing, if Northwestern is the worst passing team in the Big Ten, that's not too bad the way they've looked. 3rd down and 6 at the 29. Schnurr in trouble, fires as he's hit, intercepted. Kim Herring again. Herring to the 40 and dragged down at the 46-yard line. Steve Schnurr in the grasp of Willie Smith, threw the ball up for grabs, and Kim Herring has become the defensive star of this football game.
There's a situation where we showed some inexperience at quarterback. Schnurr being brought down by Willie Smith should have just gone down and taken the sack, especially when you're driving and you're down within the 30. Here you'll see Willie Smith grab a hold of him. He tries to run out of the pocket, makes a bad mistake by trying to throw the ball as he's going down. Kim Herring in a great spot at a great time.
Well, Penn State's starting to blitz a little bit more to get some pressure, and that time it paid off in an interception. Herring's 2nd interception of the season. And now Penn State will start out just outside their 45-yard line. The first time the offense has taken the field was still 2:21 to play in the first quarter. And you almost get to the point, Scott, where you feel badly for Northwestern. They've driven the ball beautifully, and 2 mistakes.
Well, I think you have to. They've come in here, and they're excited about this football game. They really have nothing to lose. They're coming in and have a chance to play a good football game against probably one of the best football teams in the nation, and they have nothing to lose. They got to be a little devastated.
Now, they've certainly given up 2 field goal opportunities. You look at Penn State's starting offense, and Brian Milne gets the start at fullback today, not only because of his performance last week with the 3 touchdowns, but also John Whitman is a bit banged up. He is dressed, but I think Joe Paterno would like to keep him out of the lineup if at all possible. Matt Rice, Bill Koziel, Larry Curry across the front for Northwestern. They play a 3-4. Shine, Williams, Sutter, and Warren. 1st and 10, Penn State, their first snap offensively. Kajana Carter hit in the backfield, spins away from 1 tackle, tries to get speed to the outside and does so, and frankly gains 4 yards when he probably should have lost 5.
There on the first play of the offensive series, it showed Kajana Carter's speed and strength. He really should have been tackled. He was stopped about 5 yards deep in the backfield, just made a spin and ended up gaining 4 yards.
He's 2nd down and 6. William Bennett, the free safety, pushed him out of bounds. Penn State touches the football for the first time with 2:21 in the first quarter, under 2 minutes on 2nd down and a long 5. Collins to throw for the first time, throws a flanker screen. The pass is complete to Bobby Ingram. Ingram 30. Ingram is gone for a touchdown. Bobby Ingram, a 50-yard touchdown from Kerry Collins. And just like that, in 2 plays, Penn State moves 55 yards.
How often have we seen that wide receiver screen into the middle make big plays? We've seen it all year long.
Kerry Collins with his 20th touchdown pass of the season. Bobby Ingram, his 6th touchdown catch. And it is 13-0 as Brett Conway comes on to attempt the extra point.
Coming to the game, Bobby had 42 receptions for 796 yards, 5 touchdowns, now 6 touchdowns. Every catch he's gaining on the all-time receiving leaders of Nittany Lion history.
Conway is good at 14-0. And speaking of gaining on history, that is the 38th touchdown pass of Kerry Collins' career. He is now in third place all alone on the Penn State list, passing Chuck Fusina. Behind now only Todd Blackledge and Tony Sacca. 2:02 to play in the first quarter. Penn State 14, Northwestern nothing.
Game, first play from scrimmage, they ran that wide receiver screen or whatever Joe calls it for about 60 yards for a touchdown. Looks real familiar.
Centers backing up into his end zone. He'll stay 3 yards deep, and Northwestern again will start out at their own 20-yard line. They've moved the ball, but they've given it up. And we'll take a look at the touchdown one more time. Kerry Collins to Bobby Ingram.
Here, you can't see it, but Kyle Brady is split out wide, which is something different. And you see Collins look right. It ran everybody right. Ingram just snuck under in a quick screen, and there was really nobody there. One or two guys he had to outrun, and that was it.
Needed one block, and he got it from Jeff Harding. Second block. Watch number 50 in the middle there. Just
That's a nice little block.
Yep.
Then it was Bobby Ingram against a Northwestern linebacker, and I don't think it was much an opportunity for Northwestern linebacker to run him down.
Well, Darnell Autry is back in the game. He's come out twice. He's back in there now for Northwestern. Schnurr to Luther Morris, 35 to the 40, and out across the 40 to the 43-yard line. Brian King makes the tackle, but Steve Schnurr continues to play extremely well. He's 7 for 7. Unfortunately, one of the completions was to Kim Herring, but Northwestern has had no trouble moving the football, just hanging on to it.
Well, all Northwestern is doing in their pass game when they're completing their passes, Penn State's basically playing a 3-deep zone, and the linebackers just dropping. The tight end or the wide receiver's just running 5 to 8 yards, sitting down in an open hole, and with a 3-step drop, a quarterback able to put the ball to him.
Let's call it a 22-yard gain. 1st and 10. Wildcats, their own 42-yard line, trailing 14-0. Delay handoff to Autry. He's in big trouble. He's going to be dropped for a loss all the way back at the 36-yard line. Dave Thomas came in to make the tackle, but there was penetration almost automatically. Gerald Filardi was in there. David Thomas gets credit for the tackle. The loss is 6. It'll be 2nd and 16 as we have 1:10 to play in the first quarter.
Here we'll see there's just absolutely no place for Autry to go. He gets the ball. He's got to try to run out of the pocket right off the bat. Absolutely nowhere to go. Great penetration by 2 or 3 of the defensive linemen.
Boy, someone had a chokehold on Jeff Perry. I mean, if that was, they wouldn't even allow that in the WWF. 2nd down and 16, Northwestern. Schnurr firing deep, and there's no one there. A miscommunication. The centers zigged. Schnurr zagged. It is incomplete. And that actually, excluding the interception, is his first incompletion of the day. It'll bring up 3rd down and 16 with 41 seconds to play in the quarter.
And that was just a play that was completely out of sync. I don't even know why they tried it. Centers was 5 yards behind the defensive back, meaning not anywhere close to the football, and Schnurr just went back and threw it. Good thing he threw it because he was being blitzed. He was going to get his head knocked off.
Coming in was Terry Killens. You're looking at Gary Barnett. That's his overall coaching record. This is his 3rd year at Northwestern, 8-23-1. But that's a good job that he's done here. Schnurr fires across the field. Centers will get credit for the catch, but he'll be down at his own 44-yard line, well short of the first down. It'll bring up 4th down and very long yardage, and Northwestern will be forced to punt.
It's pretty tough to run right and throw the ball almost 90 degrees left and get the guy on the run.
Paul Burton will be on to punt. He leads the Big Ten in punting, averaging 43 yards per kick. Mike Archie back deep for Penn State. He's averaging better than 12 yards per return. And the quarter will expire before they get the snap off. So we have reached the end of the first quarter of play with the score, Penn State 14, Northwestern nothing. We're ready to punt here. Paul Burton punting to Mike Archie to begin the second quarter. However, there is a flag down. Roughing the kicker is going to be called on Penn State. Ambrose Fletcher is the man who's going to be called for the rough on kicker Paul Burton.
Probably Northwestern's biggest advantage they have, if they have an advantage, is their kicking game. Of course, Joe had mentioned all week long that Northwestern's punting and kicking game overall might be the best in college football. I don't know if I necessarily agree with it. That's a coach talking, but
You got to say something nice about the opponent.
that was a great punt right there. That was a great punt by the punter, and of course the interference on the punter didn't help.
Holding on the offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat, 4th down.
Well, we were wrong.
Yep, so is the crowd, because the crowd groaned. What happened was Fletcher did bump into the punter, and the flag was thrown, and the crowd groaned. And they assumed, as did we, that it was roughing the kicker or running into the punter. Not the case. Holding on Northwestern. Penn State will take that penalty. It'll make it 4th down and very long yardage, and it'll improve Penn State's field position. It was a wise play by Northwestern to let the first quarter clock run out, because now they will punt with the wind to their back, and it's gusting up to 15 to 20 miles per hour. So Burton, who averages 43 yards, will now get it away from about his 15-yard line. Archie moves up to his own 30. Punt almost blocked by Penn State. Archie will get away from it, and the pressure Penn State puts on results in a very poor punt for Northwestern. The rush came from Ambrose Fletcher, who 2 times got through and obviously got a hand on the punt, so it was partially blocked.
It looked like it was partially blocked, and even from up here, it sounded like it was partially blocked.
You know, last week, as we mentioned, Northwestern had a punt block for a touchdown as Iowa got a free 7 points. So obviously, Penn State looked at that film and said, we can do the same thing. As it is, Penn State with a partial block by Fletcher gets the football at the 50-yard line. Kajana Carter, big hole, 45 and down to the 42-yard line. Carter with his second carry gets 8. It'll be 2nd down and 2 yards to go. Right corner, Chris Martin, number 16, made the hit on Kajana Carter.
Here's one of Penn State's signature plays. Just a quick pitch to the tailback at this situation, Carter, and Carter just wants to see what's going on. He's got 4 or 5 different holes. He can either cut back or run wide. That's a signature play that you'll see Penn State all the time.
Well, true to form, Penn State ripping up opponents in the first quarter. At one time, having given up 21 of those 33 in one game. 2nd down and 2. Carter now with 13 yards on 2 carries. Play fake. Carter off to Milne, the fullback, to the 35, the 30, and the hard driving fullback from Waterford, PA, has a 1st down at the Northwestern 28-yard line. And an excellent block by Kajana Carter, who can do it all.
How would you like to see Brian Mill at 253 pounds? You don't see him out in the open field a lot, being able to run full speed, but you have a 170-pound back, and he's running right at him. How would you like to be that guy? Here you'll get to see it again. Fake handoff to Carter. Watch Carter make a block there. Nice block.
Boy.
Nice devastating block. That's what Heisman Trophy players do. They don't only run the ball. They
Flanker
block.
screen to Freddie Scott, and Freddie Scott has got the football inside the 18-yard line, very near 1st down yardage. Rodney Ray, who leads the Northwestern secondary, is forced to make the tackle. It's a gain of nearly 10 yards. It is 10 yards and a 1st down, and the Nittany Lions continue just to race right down the field.
Here, just a quick out to Freddie Scott. Scott gets the opportunity to use a couple open field moves, gets about 11 more yards on the play.
Everybody thinks of Bobby Ingram as the quick strike guy for Penn State. He's got 6 touchdown catches now, but Scott actually leads the team with 8. Justin Williams in the ball game in motion. This is Brian Milne. Not much doing there. Good defensive play for Northwestern. Stopping Milne at the line of scrimmage. It was right linebacker Mike Warren making the tackle for no gain. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Kajana Carter looking to set a Penn State record. He needs a 100-yard rushing day today and next week against Michigan State. who set the record for 100-yard games in a season. Currently at 8, held by Lydell Mitchell, John Capoletti, and Blair Thomas.
Here to see Penn State fullbacks, 11 touchdowns combined with Whitman and Milne this year. You don't see Penn State fullbacks with a lot of touchdowns throughout the Penn State season.
Collins firing, caught by Brady and dropped. Will they call it a completion? No. Incomplete. Came very close to a completion and a fumble, but Collins doing great work to get away from a defender. Got the pass away to Brady, who had it for a 1st and goal at the 2, but he dropped it after the hit. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
And watch Collins, just a quick fake, spreading out, looking for somebody. Nice little move there. I think Kyle Brady tried to catch a ball in his stomach and started catching it in his hands. Came up nice hit by the defensive back, made him drop the ball.
Well, I suppose Kerry feels pretty good about juking linebacker Mike Warren, but anytime you juke a guy with a number 68, you shouldn't feel too proud. 3rd down and 10. Blitz outside pass, caught by Bobby Ingram and dropped. Ingram had it in his hands for a touchdown, but the pass a bit too tall. It'll bring up 4th down and 10. It'll bring on Brett Conway. Ingram has made catches like that. The Ohio State catch, of course, everybody will always remember. Could have been a touchdown. Could have been 2 opportunities for touchdown with the Brady catch and the Bobby Ingram catch. And Brett Conway, who this year is 8 out of 10 on field goals, will try for his 9th.
It's too bad on that last play we don't get the opportunity to see Bobby Ingram run that pass route. He put a move on the defensive back. He was 6 yards open on a 10-yard pass play.
Conway's 35-yard field goal is up and good.
Just barely good.
Against the wind, Brett Conway with a field goal and with 12:40 to play in the first half. Penn State now leading Northwestern 17-0. Penn State offense that Conway's only attempted 11 field goals all year long. They specialize in touchdowns. Line drive kick into and out of the end zone, and Northwestern will start at their own 20 on the touchback. Northwestern has been able to move the football, but then so has Penn State, moving 32 yards in 7 plays, ending in the field goal by Conway, although the Nittany Lions did have great opportunities for touchdowns. But a drop pass by Kyle Brady. But let's give the Northwestern secondary some credit. They knocked that one loose, and a tough catch attempt for Bobby Ingram.
I think Bobby Ingram, he beat his defensive back so bad, he was kind of tripped up a little bit, and he was so surprised that he had a hard time holding on to the ball.
Darnell Autry, battered, but spirit unbowed. Back in at tailback. Smith after Schnurr, but he gets it off to Centers, who's got the completion out to near the 30-yard line, very close to the first down after the touchback. It's a matter of the spot. Brian King, the junior from Westchester, Ohio, makes the tackle. They're going to spot the ball just shy of the 30, gain of 9, 2nd and less than a yard.
Centers just lined up close to a tight end, just run a 2 or 3 yard out. And there it is again. It's the 3-step drop and quick pass. And they've completed them every time.
2nd down in inches, so if Northwestern wanted to try something here, they have it down to waist. Down the line, and the give to Autry. No waste there. He's to the 34, getting 5, and another Northwestern first down. Yaboa Cody and Gelsheiser on the tackle. A revealing and startling stat here, Scott. Northwestern, time of possession, has had the football 15 minutes. Penn State has had it for 2, and yet they lead 17-0.
Here we'll get to see that play again. I don't think Northwestern, you mentioned earlier it was 2nd and inches. They can't give any plays away.
Yeah.
Every single down, they got to try to get a lot of positive yardage. And your time of possession, that just goes to show the time of possession doesn't mean anything.
Not how long you have it, it's what you do when you have it.
Absolutely.
Autry on the misdirection. Breaks one tackle, gets outside, does a terrific job to get out to the 40-yard line, although they're going to say he stepped out of bounds at the 38-yard line, a gain of 4, 2nd down and 6. He's a pretty good running back, this true freshman from Tempe, Arizona. Todd Atkins chased him out of bounds.
I think now that Autry got a couple of his bugs out, got hit, had to be carried off the field once or twice. He's back into this football game. There he showed a little bit of his speed that they talk about prior to the game. He was actually stopped in the backfield on a draw and just made a little spin move and outran the Penn State linebackers. Nice run by Autry.
Gary Barnett, the Northwestern head coach, was the offensive coordinator at Colorado under Bill McCartney before coming here to Northwestern 3 seasons ago. Autry hit in the backfield, but has enough power to get across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Third down and short. Atkins and Yoboa Cody on the tackle. Third down, and we'll call it 4. Phil Yoboa Cody, the senior from Montreal, Quebec. You know, the startling thing for Big Ten coaches along the way is that Penn State loses only 3 offensive starters if everybody comes back. It doesn't take their eligibility. Penn State goes to a nickel as Marlon Forbes comes in the ball game. Third down and 4. Schnurr can't find anyone open, but he's got plenty of time. Looking, firing deep over the middle. Great catch for a first down. What a grab by Michael Centers. Terrific catch by Michael Centers. His 4th catch of the day, and Northwestern has it at the Penn State 42.
Great patience by Schnurr, too. 3 men rushed by Penn State, and he had plenty of time. He must have had 10, 11 seconds to throw the ball, and he stayed with somebody, threw the ball up, and Schnurr made a great catch in the middle of a lot of people across the field. Big-time play by Northwestern quarterback and receiver.
A big gain for Northwestern as they continue to pile up first downs, time of possession, all that stuff. All they have to do now is hold on to the football and score. They've really been impressive offensively. First and 10. Now Autry in motion. It's a lateral. It's the flanker pass back to the quarterback. Blockers ahead. Schnurr to the 40, 35, to the 30, and down to the 29-yard line. The flanker throwback, they've run that before. Centers has thrown 3 passes this year. Now they're all complete. Schnurr the reception. Tony Pittman stayed at home. Really, it's only a 13-yard gain, and sometimes, Scott, plays like that, really, you hope go for touchdowns.
Well, I think that should, Bobby Ingram would have caught the ball. That would have been a touchdown. Here we'll get to see it again. It looks like Schnurr is going to throw to Centers, and Centers is going to throw downfield because there was a man wide open downfield, but he throws it way back across to the quarterback. And really, Pittman should have been blocked, and it should have gone for a touchdown. But Pittman being a little bit better athlete than number 76, Todd Biazak.
Bazek's had his problems here today. First and 10 to the 29, though. This is Autry. Inside handoff, breaks a tackle, gets outside, 25 to 20, and down to the Penn State 16-yard line. Brian King finally brought him down after Penn State had Autry in the backfield for a loss. First and 10, Northwestern.
Great run by Autry, but watch the block by number 7, wide receiver Centers. He made the play. Watch this block right here in front of us. Whether he's holding or not, I don't know, but that's what made the big play. And if it was a block and he was holding and nobody called it, then it wasn't holding.
Hey, he's a wide receiver. You got to let him get away with something. The block was on Jason Collins. And how about this Northwestern offense? First and 10 at the Penn State 16-yard line. Autry hit at the line of scrimmage and dropped for a yard loss by Todd Atkins. I don't know who the backup tackle is to Todd Bazek, but Gary Barnett may be ready to make a switch over here, although their tackles do flip-flop, but Todd Atkins is having a career day.
Here we'll see Atkins has just run right through him. And you said hit simultaneously when he made the tackle, and I felt it in my ears. Nice play.
What a shot.
By Todd Atkins.
He's having a big day. It's a loss to the 17. Well, Northwestern started at their own 20, 63 yards in 8 plays. This is number 9. We're at 9:10 to play in the first half. Penn State 17, Northwestern nothing. Second down, 11. No room for Autry this time. Got back to the 15-yard line, gain of a couple, but it'll still be third down and 9 as Willie Smith rode him out of bounds using the boundary as an extra defender. It'll be third down and 9.
For a team who all we've heard all week has been inconsistent on offense, can't throw the ball, one-dimensional running the game, they've looked very impressive and have added up some yardage. Almost 200 total yards for the Wildcats offense today.
Only 86 for Penn State because one of their touchdowns came on a defensive touchdown. Schnurr has had a very good day passing. Centers has been the key receiver. 3rd down and 9 from the 15. Blitz, fire, slant pass, incomplete. Looking on the slant pass for Centers, but Tony Pittman had the coverage, and that'll send on the field goal unit. Brian Miller also over there. It'll be 4th down and 9, and that'll bring on the field goal kicker, Sam Valancisi, a junior, 12 out of 17, 70%. This will be a 32-yard field goal, angle to the kicker's left. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So Northwestern, a very impressive drive from their 20 to the Penn State 15, ends in a field goal, 32 yards by Sam Valancisi, and with 8:50 to play, 2 p.m. So pack some turkey sandwiches and plan on spending your Thanksgiving weekends at Penn State.
Onside kick right off the bat by Northwestern, but did the ball go 10 yards before it was touched? Yes, it did. Northwestern recovers. Great heads-up special teams play by Northwestern. Not very heads-up by Penn State.
Well,
kickoff return team.
It is recovered by strong safety Corey Singleton. And Northwestern is 3-6-1. They haven't won 4 games in 8 seasons in a particular season. Gary Barnett said, why not? We're playing the number 2 team in the country. Why not?
Absolutely, just like the quarterback flanker, back to quarterback throwback, onside kick in the middle of the football game. It's a smart thing to do. It's the only way they're going to have a chance to win this football game.
Well, the time of possession is going to be even more lopsided now.
Here you'll see Northwest scoring drive, 11 plays, 65 yards. It only took 3 minutes and 50 seconds.
1st and 10, Northwestern at the 50 following the onside kick recovery. Autry, hole off the right side, looking to get outside, and does so to the 45, the 40, the 35, and finally brought down from behind at the 31-yard line. Brian Gelsheiser and Brad Scioli finally reach him, but what a terrific run by Darnell Autry. 20 yards and a 1st down.
20-yard gain, and Autry had matured very quickly in this game. Here you'll see all it is that off-tackle run to the right, where Autry's got the opportunity to find a hole and run. He runs through 2 Penn State men right there and keeps running.
And Autry fumbled Scott late on the play, but got it back. There it goes down, and it goes out of bounds.
Barely went out of bounds.
That's a terrific run. As you mentioned, ran through 2 Penn State tacklers, including Gelsheiser. They're going to give him 19 on the play. 1st down and 10 from the Penn State 31. Autry looking for a hole. There isn't one. Let's call this one no gain to make it 2nd down and 10. 8.5 to play in the 2nd quarter. Willie Smith makes the tackle for Penn State.
Here we'll have an ISO right on Autry. Just a fake right. Finds a little bit of hole, but it's just a very little bit of hole and couldn't run over the linebacker.
You saw that little twist. That's a little bit of a misdirection. Maybe you're trying to freeze a linebacker. Autry now, total of 86 yards on 10 carries. 18 carries. 2nd down, 10. Play fake. Schnurr. It's intercepted. Brad Scioli, the defensive end, needs a block from the 35, 30, 20, 15-yard line. Brad Scioli, the freshman, Penn State's 3rd turnover of the day. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 17-yard line, but once again, Schnurr under pressure did not but should have thrown it away.
Every time he's been under pressure now, he's thrown the ball away. Here you'll see under pressure by Willie Smith. Thrown right into Scioli's hand. I thought he was going to have an opportunity to run for a touchdown, but I guess he doesn't have many chances in practice to be able to run downfield and try to elude people.
Brad Scioli, the freshman defensive end, all set to step in when the spot avails itself in 1995, makes the interception. 2 interceptions and a fumble recovery now for Penn State. 1st and 10 from the 17-yard line. Kajana Carter to the 15. Carter to the 10 and inside the 10 near the 9-yard line. Williams and Bennett make the tackle, but Carter gets 8 to the 9-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 2. Well, it's almost a shame the way Northwestern has been able to drive and then turns the ball over. And sooner or later, Scott, it's going to be very demoralizing if it's not already for the Northwestern offense.
I would think they're playing very well offensively, but just as they have done in the past couple of weeks, they turn the ball over too often, and you just can't win football games that way.
This is Milne to the 6 and a Penn State first down. Brian Milne for 4 yards. It'll be first and goal from the 6. The Nittany Lions looking to make it a 24-3 lead.
Stan, not only are they turning the ball over, as in fumbles where Penn State's recovering them, they're turning the ball over, and Penn State's getting an extra 50 or 60 or 70 or a touchdown. And that's even more demoralizing than just turning it over. Very bad plays by the Northwestern quarterback, though.
Kajana Carter cutting inside and into the end zone for a touchdown. Kajana Carter, the final 6 yards, a 17-yard drive in 3 plays, and Penn State scores its 3rd touchdown of the ball game for Kajana Carter, his 16th rushing touchdown, or 16th touchdown overall. Carter now
4 carries for 24 yards. Today isn't going to be a day for Kerry Collins or Kajana Carter to run up stats for the Heisman Trophy, I don't think.
No, not if you get the ball to the 15-yard line all the time.
I think Penn State's only had the ball for about 4 minutes, and it makes it awful tough to ground up yards when you're only on the field a quarter of the time.
Conway's extra point is up and good. And with 6:48 to play in the first half, Penn State taking advantage of all 3 Northwestern turnovers has now extended its lead to 24-3.
Watch Carter. He's so smooth. He just kind of glides and slides and finds the holes and gets into the end zone.
Great block by Marco Rivera. Watch number 54.
Here we'll see it coming right at us. Watch Rivera. There you'll see him knock out a linebacker, and Carter just makes his own way into the end zone.
Carter's 16th touchdown of the season, and it's 24-3.
Yep.
Brett Conway to kick off for Penn State. The kick taken at the 2-yard line by Michael Centers, who is not going to get very far. Breaks a couple of tackles and gets across the 15 to the 18-yard line. Good coverage, though, by the Penn State special teams. Shino Prater, reserve cornerback, makes the stop for Northwestern. The Penn State scoring drive limited because of the interception by Brad Scioli. Just 3 plays in 17 minutes. Took him 61 seconds, which is longer than most of them have been. And finishing up on officially a 5-yard run by Kajana Carter. First and 10 Wildcats, their own 18-yard line. And we've got a new quarterback. Tim Hughes is now in at quarterback. He's the junior college player. Almost a missed handoff, but he does get it off to Autry, who continues his good work and gets 5 to the 23. Jason Collins makes the tackle. Tim Hughes is also a sophomore, like Steve Schnurr. He has completed 43% of his passes this year, and his completion average is a little bit lower than Schnurr's, but he's also thrown for 4 touchdown passes, but he's also been intercepted 8 times.
Tim Hughes is a little bit bigger than Schnurr, be at 6'3", 215 pounds, and like you mentioned, Stan, only a sophomore.
And prone to the interception. Schnurr, of course, throwing 2, and he's been yanked by Gary Barnett. 2nd down and 5. Autry again, flag down. Autry just does a great job of breaking tackles and gets a first down to the 30-yard line. Aaron Collins finally makes the stop, but he broke out of 2 grasps of Penn State tacklers. Let's see who the penalty's against. This Autry kid has been very impressive.
Offside on the defense. Penalty is declined. First down.
Autry just carried somebody 5 or 6 yards. It looked like they were trying to tackle the ball and not the man. And Autry just carried him to make a first down.
Things continue. Autry now has over 90 yards. He's going to have 100 by halftime. He has been a terrific runner. It's as if Dennis Lundy never existed.
Autry, 20 carries for 89 yards.
First and 10, Northwestern just outside the 30. Here's Autry looking for a block. He's got it. 35 to the 40, and another Northwestern first down. That's an 11-yard gain for Northwestern. Terry Killens finally brought him down, the linebacker from South Carolina. I'm sorry, from Cincinnati.
First down, Northwestern.
But Darnell Autry been a tremendous performer in the first half.
Here we'll see us that off tackle right again. Autry being able to find his own hole.
He's now over 100 yards at 109 yards and 21 carries. Well, Penn State may have some checking to do after Ty Dothard had that kind of day last week against Illinois. Autry, off right tackle, not as much running room. 4 yards, 2nd and 6. Autry now becomes the first running back not named Tyrone to rush for 100 yards this year. Tyrone Wheatley did it. Ty Dothard did it for Illinois last week. And now it is Darnell Autry, now with 113 yards, going over the 100-yard mark. The guy's going to call me a liar for 1 yard. 2nd down and 6, Northwestern, their own 45. Under 5 minutes to play in the first half. Penn State 24, Northwestern 3. Tim Hughes at quarterback, his first series. Play fake to Autry. Hughes is in trouble. Scrambles, got a man wide open on the sideline, good for a first down. The pass complete to Centers, and he is run out of bounds at the Penn State 37-yard line. Pittman and Killens run him out of bounds, but a good job by Hughes to stay alive until he spotted a man open, and Centers was wide open on the sideline.
You had Centers open. You had number 83, Darren Drexler, going across the field, wide open also. Hughes hung in there, and instead of throwing the ball away or running it when he had an opportunity to, stayed in there and found Centers, who was wide open himself. Centers makes a nice run to get an extra 10 yards.
Faked out Kim Herring and picked up an extra 10 before Killens and Pittman finally run him out of bounds. 1st and 10, Northwestern at the Penn State 37-yard line. Autry, room to the outside, and is run out of bounds at the 31-yard line.
Penalty
It'll be gain of 5,
down.
but a flag is down. Tony Pittman ran him out of bounds, but again, we have a flag.
And we have an injured Penn State player down.
Kim Herring is hurt. He's had a big day, returned a fumble for a touchdown, and has had an interception. It's going to be blocking below the waist on Northwestern. That'll move him way back to near midfield. And it may have been on Kim Herring. 4:35 to play in the first half. We've got a timeout to score. Penn State 24, Northwestern 3. Perhaps ankle. We'll give you an update. Blocking below the waist, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. It is 1st down and 19. Northwestern at the Penn State 46. Fumble snap, and Penn State is on top of it. Marlon Forbes recovered the fumble on the missed snap. There appeared to be movement across the front, but it was because of the mishandled snap. Northwestern turns it over for the 4th time.
Penn State starts 1st and 10 at its own 46-yard line.
Northwestern has taken less than a half to nearly duplicate what they did last week. Last week against Iowa, they turned it over 5 times and had a blocked punt. Today they've turned it over 4 times and have had a punt partially blocked. And Penn State starts at his own 46-yard line, which, by the way, equals its worst field position of the day. Kerry Collins looking deep to a man wide open. Ingram's got it. 15, and he fumbles. Incomplete. Incomplete. Boy, Ingram looked like he had it again, and it went off his fingertips. The fans are booing.
I don't think he really had the ball, but he caught it for a second, and he wanted to get into the end zone. Here we'll get to see it again, whether he bobbled or whether he just dropped it as he decided to start to run. Nah, he never really had it. He tried to put it into his arm to run into the end zone and just dropped it.
Well, the fans wouldn't have been booing if it wouldn't have been Freddie Scott to come in and pick it up. If Northwestern would have picked it up, they'd have said, great call.
But great call by Penn State, getting a big turnover and trying to make a big play immediately. And Collins, boy, he put that ball right on the money, just like he has all year long.
Collins is 3 for 6, but all 3 incompletions were drops. 2 by Ingram, 1 by Brady. Play fake. Collins looking, sideline, overthrows. The pass intended for Olsheimer. It is incomplete, and it is 3rd down and 10.
Olsheimer not really open over in the sideline. That's about the only place he could have put the ball if he wanted to complete it.
Penn State is 2 interceptions, one by Herring, one by Scioli, and 2 fumble recoveries. One by Herring, who returned that 80 yards for a touchdown, and one by Marlon Forbes. I hate to use the cliche, Northwestern shooting itself in the foot. They don't have any toes left. Phil Collins wide right on 3rd and 10. Collins on the rolls, got room to run. He's to the 50. First down, Penn State at the Northwestern 43. Good decision by Kerry Collins. There was absolutely no one there. All the linebackers had deep drops. He takes what the defense gave him. Finally, Matt Rice picks up the tackle, but Collins gains 11 and a first down for Penn State.
And Kerry Collins running the ball at 6'5", 235 pounds. He's no small man to bring down.
Matt Rice, the far side defensive end, had to come up and make the tackle. We are at 4 minutes to play in the first half. 1st and 10, Nittany Lions. Milne and Carter in the eye. Kajana Carter up the middle. Still on his feet at the 30. Still driving to the 29-yard line. Kajana Carter kind of showed Darnell Autry, hey, Ace, you're not the only one who can run the football. Picks up nearly 15 yards and a Penn State first down. Mike Warren finally bulldogged him down, and Carter will take a breather.
Just the off-tackle run again. And watch Carter, what all great backs do. Obviously, he breaks up into the hole and slithers, but watch his legs. His legs will just keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. See his legs? Great running backs never stop their legs, and that's what makes Kajana Carter one of the great ones. Anytime he's going to be tackled, the legs are still driving.
Carter now 37 yards. This is Mike Archie up the middle of the 25, the 20. Archie with the first down, still on his feet, inside the 15 and down to the 11-yard line. Two-fisted running power. Carter and Archie, he picks up big yardage and a first down, and a Northwestern player is down back at the 32-yard line.
Watch Archie, you know, it's a very, very nice situation where you can take the Heisman Trophy candidate out, put another fellow in who probably, if he carried the ball or was a starter on any other team, could very well be a Heisman Trophy candidate elsewhere.
Archie gains 19 yards on the carry. The injured Wildcat is Joe Reef, number 94, a reserve defensive end. You know, Mike Archie, not too shabby as the backup, is averaging 6 yards per carry. Penn State first down and 10 at the 11-yard line. 3:20 to play in the first half. Kajana Carter, the give to Brian Milne. Big hole! Brian Milne near the goal line. Touchdown! Brian Milne with his second touchdown today, his 8th of the year, and Penn State has scored its 4th touchdown of the afternoon. William Bennett hanging on for dear life, couldn't get there.
William Bennett was there at the 5-yard line to make the stop, but no way you're going to stop 265 Brian Milne from getting into the end zone. Just a great backside hole, great wall off by the offensive line, allowing Milne just to slither back, and basically besides Bennett, nobody else was there to tackle to him, easily getting into the end zone.
Penn State drives 54 yards and again takes advantage. They have scored every time Northwestern has given them, or Penn State has forced a turnover. Conway's extra point is good. So Penn State, which has only forced Northwestern to punt one time, leads it 31-3.
Here we see the wall off coming right at us, and watch Milne just run Bennett right into the end zone. Bennett actually made a pretty nice tackle on him, but when you only have 5 yards, it makes it tough.
I think the field goal was after the punt. This is Brian Musso with the kickoff return from Brett Conway, and he returns it to his own 16-yard line. Ahmad Collins, reserve outside linebacker, makes the Penn State special teams play. And with 2:53 to play in the half, Northwestern will take over. Nittany Lions, after the fumble recovery by Marlon Forbes, go 54 yards and 4 carries. 3 minutes and 51 seconds, which for Penn State's offense is an eternity, scoring on the 11-yard run by Brian Milne, his second touchdown run of the game. Tim Hughes comes back in at quarterback. Autry the tail. 1st and 10 from the 17. Hughes with time fires over the middle. It is caught by the tight end. Pass complete out to the 39-yard line. It was Drexler, Darren Drexler, his second catch of the game. The gain is 23 yards. for a first down for Northwestern.
Northwestern going with a 2-minute offense, no huddle offense. Hughes just takes 3 steps back, and there again against the zone defense. Drexler just finds the middle between the linebackers and the defensive backs, and Hughes lays it right in there.
With 2:35 to play in the half, Northwestern has all 3 of its timeouts remaining. From their own 39, 1st and 10, Autry in trouble. He'll not break out of this. And once again, Penn State's defensive ends make the play. This time, Brad Scioli, who has an interception today, and his opposite number, Todd Atkins, had a great day. Bridgeport, PA, he is a real comer, only a freshman. Talked about Penn State graduating only 3 players from the offense. Should everybody use up their eligibility, Penn State would lose 6 players on defense. Only 9 out of 22 of the starters. Loss is 5, 2nd and 15, clock running, 1:45 to play. Draw to Autry. He's hit in the backfield and dropped by guess who? Todd Atkins. Bookends. Well, they have now lost 9 yards in 2 plays. 3rd down and long. And Northwestern will use, or make it Penn State is going to use a timeout. Pretty smart call, Scott, to get the ball back one more time.
Well, after losing 9 yards on 2 plays and they keep going back, they're probably going to punt from about their end zone. So smart move by Penn State defense to try to get the ball back one more time for another score.
Northwestern with a 3rd down and 18 from its own 32. Hand off to Autry. They played very conservatively, got some yards out to 35, and Penn State should use its 2nd timeout here.
Tackled by a newcomer, Brian King. First time we've called Brian King's day. Actually the 3rd team free safety, with Cliff Dingle being injured prior to the game and Kim Herring out. A couple new names in here, Stan.
And we'll see more certainly in the second half. The Nittany Lions do use their 2nd timeout. They'll have 1 remaining. Burton will be on to punt for the 2nd time. The first time he punted, got a partial block thanks to Ambrose Fletcher. As you look at Brian King, the junior from Westchester, Ohio. So Penn State should get the ball in reasonable field position, but keep in mind that Paul Burton is the leading punter in the Big Ten, averaging 43 yards per punt. He'll have the wind in its back, and I wonder, Scott, if Penn State won't come after this one, having gotten a partial block the first time that Burton punted.
There's 2 ways to look at it. Number one, they'll either come after it to try to get the ball in good field position, or they'll give a return to let the offense get in with their 2-minute offense.
Per return. Paul Burton to punt for Northwestern. Penn State does not look as if it's coming after the punt. They have the return set. Burton's kick is a good one, but it's fairly low. Archie takes at his 26, and he's blasted down right on the spot. No return. Well, Penn State will take over at its 26, 1:11 to go in the first half. They'll have 1 timeout remaining. Paul Janis makes the tackle for Northwestern. Penn State against the wind, but after last week's against the wind against Illinois, nothing will ever matter like that again. A Northwestern player is down. The trainers come out. Part of their problem is depth. You just can't have the 44 you need really to be, I don't want to say not competitive, because they have been competitive this year. Just as glad, too, by the time it's all over.
Not only depth, but you can play.
It's a wildcat.
Okay.
A battered and bruised one. That looks like Yosemite Sam with big ears. He's had at least 3 passes dropped. Actually 3 exactly. Bobby Ingram has been open all day long. Here's the little float pat, the swing pass out in the flat. It'll lose yardage to the 24-yard line to Carter. It'll be 2nd down and 12. Penn State will have to hurry to the line of scrimmage. Rodney Ray, the right corner, made the tackle. 2nd down and 12.
That's exactly what they're doing. Here's an opportunity to run that 2 minutes offense, which really came into play last week to help them win the football game.
And the pass to Freddie Scott is good for a first down at the 47. That'll stop the clock to move the chain. Scott's 2nd reception. Bennett makes the tackle, but the first down for Penn State at their own 47-yard line. 46 seconds to play in the half. Penn State trying to preserve its lone remaining timeout. Collins sideline, caught by Ingram and knocked out of bounds at the Northwestern 37-yard line. Good for another first down. And Ingram gets out of bounds to stop the clock. Singleton pushed him out. The strong safety.
Stan, they snapped that ball before the official actually blew the whistle to start the play.
I thought they were going to get called for illegal procedure because everybody didn't seem to be down.
And the first down markers weren't even set up on the other side of the field.
Penn State actually went with a 4 wide receiver set. Juravicius was in there. Justin Williams in there.
I think they're going to stay with the 4 wide out set. Now also, Juravicius back in the game, Carter out of the game.
Archie in, lone setback. You got a double wing. It's 1st and 10. Here's the inside to Mike Archie to the 30, the 25. He'll have another first down to stop the clock at the 24-yard line. Singleton makes the tackle, but Penn State, after a loss on its first play, now has moved the football on 4 plays to the Northwestern 24. 33 seconds to play in the half. Penn State still has 1 timeout. Collins looking, firing, incomplete. That time Ingram had double coverage, nowhere to go, and Collins wisely threw it out of bounds. At this point, you don't want to blow the field goal.
What they're basically looking to do is they got the 2 wideouts just running 2 or 3 yard stops, and then the inside slot backs running about 14-yard outs. And Collins is looking to either side and just trying to get the wideout close to out of bounds so he can stop the clock out of bounds. That time Bobby Ingram ran out of territory, and Collins wisely just threw it out of bounds.
Scott, you think they might go for a strike here in the end zone because they do have the 1 timeout remaining?
I don't think they'll go into the end zone yet. I think they'll still try to get a first down and get it down the field a little farther. I think they might run the ball.
Oh, good call. Kajana Carter to the 25, 10, 5, touchdown!
They struck into the end zone just like you called it.
Right church, wrong pew. Kajana Carter with a 24-yard touchdown run, his second score of the game. And Northwestern playing pass, dropping back, and Kajana Carter scores, and Penn State needed just 51 seconds of the 111 that they had remaining to move 74 yards and a touchdown.
Great play calling by Coach Paterno and Franny Ganner, the offensive coordinator.
I mean, never used a timeout.
Nope, they caught everybody off guard. The defense, the fans, the guys up here talking about the game.
Conway to attempt the extra point. It is good. And with 19 seconds to play in the first half, it is now Penn State 38, Northwestern 3.
Just a quick trap right up the middle, and that's all she wrote. Kajana Carter gets the ball and just outruns everybody. Good blocking downfield by Bobby Ingram, and they put it right into the end zone. Here we'll see it coming right at us. Nice big hole, and Carter with those great eyes, great ability to be able to find a hole and spurt to it on a dime, being able to find the end zone.
Kajana Carter now with 59 yards on 7 carries. So he continues to average better than 8 yards per carry, although we may not see him in the second half. 74 yards, 6 plays. They used just 52 seconds to score. Carter with the touchdown run is second of the game. 19 seconds to play in the half. Penn State 38, Northwestern 3. And you'd like to use the term, this could get ugly. It already is. Hudhaifa Ismaili, who is from Pittsburgh, Westinghouse High School, back deep for Northwestern, along with Brian Musso. Michael Centers has been back there, but they need him to play wide receiver. Here's Conway's kick. Clock will not start till it's touched in bounds, and it won't be. So Northwestern will have it at its own 20. They do have all 3 timeouts remaining. But maybe Gary Barnett will just tuck it under and say, we've had enough.
Actually, every time Conway's kicked the ball into the end zone, it's been Northwestern's best field position. Each time they brought the ball out, they've been within the 15-yard line. So kicking back is the best situation for Northwestern.
Now, their best field position actually was when they recovered their own onside kick at the 50. But aside from that, the opening kickoff of the game, they got it at the 21-yard line. And by the way, that kick 5 yards deep into the end zone came against the wind for Brett Conway. Hughes gives to Autry. Autry just had a great first half. He gets 9 to the 29, and unless Northwestern uses a timeout, that'll be the end of the first half. Northwestern will just as soon go in and say, how did this happen? Well, it happened through turnovers and some sparkling Penn State offense. We have reached the end of the first half of play. The score, Penn State 38, Northwestern 3. Thanks, Teddy. Yeah, excellent job. Good job, Scott. Yep. Shoot.
Yep.
Number 27, Sam Balancini to kick off for Northwestern. Deep to receive for Penn State. Number 2, Mike Archie.
Welcome back to Beaver Stadium. Penn State exercising its option after deferring in the first half will receive the second half kickoff, leading 38-3. Northwestern will kick with the wind at its back. Ambrose Fletcher and Mike Archie back deep for Penn State. Ball bounds and goes out of bounds. And so Penn State, on the procedure penalty against Northwestern, will get the ball in excellent field position. Taking a look at the first half statistics, they
Kicking
do
around,
and
by rule, the option selected, ball on 35-yard line.
all right. Thanks to our referee, Jim Kimmerling. Penn State, despite leading 38-3, had the football only 5 minutes and 39 seconds. Every other statistic outside of the turnovers really pales in comparison. A remarkable, as you look at the total yardage, Scott, it just keeps jumping out at you. 5 minutes and 39 seconds, and they scored 5 touchdowns.
Well, that and the 24 points off of turnovers. I mean, that's the whole football game right there. You also, as we're looking at the defensive statistics, Wildcat players only have 12 tackles for the whole game as opposed to 35 tackles by Penn State defensive people.
Penn State opens up the second half with its number one offensive unit as Kajana Carter gains 5 yards, stopped by Hugh Williams. Carter looking for his 100-yard game. He's got a shot at it depending on how long he stays in. He's got 65 now on 8 carries. Second down and 5, Penn State at its own 40-yard line. Ryan Milne hit in the backfield, and he stopped for a 1-yard loss. Good play by Mike Warren, number 68. The first ones to make contact there. Bill Colzeal, the nose guard, number 58, also in on the tackle. It'll be third down and a little bit more than 6 for Penn State.
I think this has to be quite an experience for Northwestern football team to be coming into actually the middle of nowhere in Pennsylvania in the end of November, 60 degrees. Quite an experience for a lot of these athletes.
Collins has to throw that one away on 3rd and long, and Penn State will punt for the first time today. A very good offensive series there after a 5-yard gain on 1st down. This is Northwestern's first visit to Penn State. Daryl Kania will come in to punt for the Nittany Lions. Sophomore from Cambridge Springs, 36.6 yards per punt. And back deep, Brian Musso averaging 9.5 yards per punt return. Caney with the kick. It'll be against the wind. Musso takes and stumbles, and he's got a wide open field, which closes quickly. He takes it up to the 35-yard line.
Nice stop by Geldheiser.
Brian Gelsheiser makes the tackle. 1st and 10 Northwestern. In the first half, Darnell Autry, 124 yards rushing on 27 carries. Carter, 60 yards on 6 carries. And Brian Milne with 2 touchdowns on his 16 yards. Michael Centers had a big game with 6 receptions. Angerman Scott with 2 catches apiece. Tim Hughes will start out a quarterback for Northwestern. This is Autry. And he'll get a yard out to the 36. 2nd down and 9.
Well, let's see if Northwestern decides to stay with the same game plan. Run the ball, play action pass, throw some short passes, keep the Penn State defense off balance, because actually Northwestern had a very good first half offensively if it wasn't for the turnovers. Penn State's defense susceptible to a lot of short passing and the right side off tackle run.
2nd and 9 Northwestern, their own 36-yard line. Movement, and that'll stop the play right there.
Dead ball, encroachment on the defense, 5 yards.
Quick 5 yards for Northwestern to make it 2nd down and 4 instead of 2nd down and 9. And obviously Penn State's got the game well in hand. The one thing Joe Paterno does not want to have happen is that the game turns sloppy. As a former player of his, I would gather, Scott, he just hated that when you kind of fumble around, muddy kind of football.
Right, well, for a whole lot of reasons. One, you want to keep playing sharp because you got another game next week. You don't want to carry over sloppy football into the next week. Number 2, you start playing sloppy, you start not hustling all the time, you get people injured. And you can't get in a situation this late in the season with a big game coming up next week to have people get injured.
Autry picks up nice yardage, 9 yards for the 1st down, and the ball's at midfield. The 1st down for Northwestern. Brian King makes the stop. Autry now with 134 yards on 29 carries. More movement by Penn State. And this is Autry. He gets nice yardage into Penn State territory. Pittman ran him out of bounds. So Northwestern now can either have it 1st and 5 or 2nd and 2, their choice.
Here we'll see Coach Paterno. He's not very happy at all about that. 2 in a row now, offensive or defensive offside.
On the defense, penalty is declined, 2nd down.
Well, Autry will get 8. It gives him 142 yards, so he doesn't have that much farther to go to pass Ty Douthard as the best running performance against Penn State this season. Remember, Autry is starting and playing as much because Dennis Lundy, the senior tailback, was suspended by Coach Gary Barnett before the game, which is not to say that Autry didn't receive a lot of playing time. He did have over 300 yards rushing, nearly 400 as a matter of fact. He has seen more action today than in his career. Here he is again, got a 1st down, gets to the boundary, and gets to the Penn State 38-yard line, gain of 4, 1st down. Terry Killens ran him out of bounds.
1st down Northwestern.
12 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Penn State starting with both its number 1 defensive and offensive units here in the 3rd quarter. I would imagine they'll play a few series before they begin substituting. 1st and 10. Northwestern at the Penn State 38. Autry again. This time he'll get a yard to the 37-yard line. Good defensive play by Brandon Noble. Sophomore makes the tackle. As you know, Penn State injured at defensive tackle, what with Vin Stewart and Eric Clare injured, maybe out for the season. 2nd down and 9, Northwestern.
That shows a lot of the depth that Penn State has. Brandon Noble was a backup coming into the season, and he's played just as well as any of the starters. As of what we've seen, I think we've had six starters out with injury today, not being able to play.
Yep, John Whitman hasn't had a chance to play today. Probably will not. 2nd down and 9 from the 37.
That's a great view of a running back's eyes what he's looking at prior to the play.
There's a little swing pass to Autry. Got room to the 35, the 30, 25, and inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. Brian King makes the tackle. Dennis Autry has well over 200 yards total offense and another Northwestern first down.
He will get to see it again. Just a quick swing pass to Autry. Basically makes it all on his own. Nice, well, 75. I don't know if he made a block or not, but he was standing out there. But nice run by Autry.
Ryan Padgett, number 75, threw a block, but Brian Miller actually slipped down on the cutback. Nice cutback by Autry. Deepest penetration for Northwestern came in their first drive, the 19-yard line, but that's when Kim Herring picked up the fumble and ran it 80 yards. First and 10 from the 22-yard line. Hughes looking, firing sideline, and it is caught for a touchdown. The gamble was made on Gamble, going for the interception, didn't get it, and Chris Gamble, the senior, number 1, takes the touchdown pass from Tim Hughes. That's Hughes' 5th touchdown pass of the year, Gamble's 3rd touchdown catch of the season, and the first score for Northwestern. Tony Pittman went for the interception. Had he made it, he might have returned it 85 yards. As it is, it ends up being a TD.
That was an awful long throw from the far hash mark. That was a gamble by the quarterback throwing the ball, and then Tony Pittman making a gamble trying to knock it down. And a great catch by Gamble for the touchdown.
Gamble's all around the extra point. Sam Valancisi is good on the extra point. He's perfect this year. And with 10 minutes and 35 seconds to play, Northwestern is on the scoreboard with a touchdown for the first time, 38-10. Sam Valancisi to kick off for Northwestern to Archie or Ambrose Fletcher. This is Archie a yard deep. Nowhere to go. Good special teams coverage by Northwestern. Penn State will start out at the 14-yard line. Its worst field position of the day. Rodney Ray, starting quarterback, made the tackle. Only a 14-yard return by Mike Archie. Northwestern, 65-yard touchdown drive in 7 plays. Scoring on a 22-yard pass to Chris Gamble. Well, at least Northwestern can say we didn't come all this way for nothing.
Right, they've come out, give them a lot of credit for coming out the second half, stopping Penn State on the first series, and then having a nice series and scoring a touchdown.
Good block by Kerry Collins. Kajana Carter to the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Carter, who looked like he was heading for a loss, picks up 8 yards. Rodney Ray brought him down, but Carter improvising, got the block he needed from Kerry Collins.
And listen to the people giving Kerry Collins a big hand for making a nice block. Here you'll see Carter turn around and change direction, run the other way. Watch Collins right here just standing. Well, we didn't get to see him. You see him knocked over there. But nice block, nice heads-up play by the quarterback. A lot of quarterbacks won't do that. They'll just kind of dive at the people's feet on the ground.
He didn't have to hurt anybody, just get in their way.
Absolutely.
Carter now with 72 yards, second down, 2 yards to go at the 22. Quick drop, the pass to Ingram, and he drops another. That was a little bit high, but that's a catchable football. And Kerry Collins' stats, when all is said and done, are not going to overwhelm anyone, but someone's going to have to ask about the 4 drops, 3 by Bob Ingram, who does have a touchdown catch today, however. It'll be 3rd down and 2. Collins now, 7 out of 14, 125 yards and the 1 TD. 3rd down and 2. Scott in motion to the far side. Carter back in a running back. Here he goes. Got a first down and more to the 30, 35, 40, 45, and run out of bounds near midfield. Kajana Carter really just looking to pick up a first down. Picks up 20 yards more than that. William Bennett ran him out of bounds, but Kajana Carter picks up 25 yards. That should put him right at the 100-yard mark, and he now has a chance to set Penn State's all-time record for 100-yard games in a season.
Watch the move he puts on number 38. Kajana made a lot of that play by himself with that great move he put on earlier in the run.
Carter officially now with 98 yards. This is Mike Archie. Not much doing there. Gets a couple out to the 49-yard line to make it 2nd and 8. Other 3 people have had 8 100-yard games in a career. Lydell Mitchell, John Capoletti, and Blair Thomas in a season. And Kajana Carter now with 98 yards. This would be his 8th, and he could set it next week against Michigan State.
Next week's going to be a football game. Michigan State's going to come in here and play. Michigan State does not like Penn State, and they never have. And they're going to come up in here. George Purvis' last game as a head football coach at Michigan State. And they're going to come in here with some tricks up their sleeve.
2nd down and 8. This is Archie into Northwestern territory, but a hard hit by Danny Sutter, who is 2nd tackles in the Big Ten Conference behind Illinois' Dana Howard, makes the stop. We'll give him a gain of a couple, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 7.
Last year, Mike Archie, you see, was the leading rusher against Northwestern with 173 yards.
Kajana Carter did not play in that game. Good stick. 3rd down and 7. Kajana Carter back in the football game. Milne offset to the right. Collins looking, firing, man wide open, and Bobby Ingram has got it at the Northwestern 36-yard line. Collins had the time to look for a secondary receiver. Ingram makes the catch. Martin makes the tackle, but it's a 1st down for Penn State.
Actually, what Collins wanted to do was swing it out to Carter. Carter was covering Bob Ingram, just running a 12, 13-yard curl, standing there wide open, and Collins stayed with him and got him the completion. And Ingram held on to the ball.
Here's Kajana Carter looking to cut inside, does so, and gets to the 32-yard line. Gain of a couple. That'll put him at 100 yards. 2nd down and 8.
Number 35, Hugh Williams, 2nd down.
Ball's at the 33-yard line. There you see the combinations. 14 touchdown catches between Ingram and Scott, looking to set an all-time record held currently. O.J. McDuffie and Terry Smith. 2nd and 8. Collins looking, firing the flat. Freddie Scott to the 25. 1st down and more. 20, 15. Run out of bounds inside the 15 at the 11-yard line. Freddie Scott with the reception. Bennett ran him out of bounds. It'll be 1st and 10, Penn State.
It shows the ability of the Penn State receivers. Not only are they great at catching the ball, but they're great after they catch the ball. All this was is a 10-yard quick hits to Freddie Scott. He beats the fella covering him and runs another 10 yards. Almost have an opportunity to get in the end zone to break that record that we just saw on the graphic a minute ago.
And that fellow was Rodney Ray, who is Northwestern's best cornerback. He's got 13 passes defensed, which is a Northwestern single-season record. Kajana Carter. Now Collins on the fake throws. It is incomplete. Pass in the end zone. The pass intended for Bobby Ingram, who is not having a red-letter day. That's 4 drops for Bobby Ingram.
Normally, you'll see Bob Ingram catch those balls. That was a great fake by Kerry Collins. Got the opportunity to see the whole play. He faked the sweep to Kajana Carter. Half the defense went with Carter, and Collins rolled the other way, and Bob Ingram actually wide open in the end zone, just couldn't hold on to it.
Justin Williams in at a wide out on 2nd down. This is Carter up the middle of the 10. Carter to the 5-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down, 5 for a touchdown, a little bit less than 4 for a 1st down. Both safeties, Bennett and Singleton, in on the tackle. When you got your safeties making the tackles, you got problems. Carter now officially with 105 yards. Lions started this thing at their own 14-yard line. 80-yard drive in 10 plays. This is one of their longer drives of the season.
Still, it's only taken up 3 minutes and 10 seconds. That's a lot of yards for 3 minutes.
Kerry Collins rolling right, room to run if he wants to. He takes off and gets down near the 1-yard line. Now he's very close to the 1st down. He had to get just inside the 2 for a 1st down. The crowd's already screaming to go for it. I don't think Joe Paterno's going to kick a field goal here. A Northwestern player is down.
Watch Collins roll right. He actually had Kyle Brady open in the back of the end zone.
It's open right there.
It must have been Oldheimer in the back of the end zone. But Collins decided to keep it, try to get the first down on his own.
They're a little bit short of it. Matt Rice, number 95, is the player who is injured on the play. You see the sticks. Penn State about a half-yard shy of the first down. It'll be 4th down and a foot. By the way, this year on 4th downs, Penn State has converted 50% of the time. Really, I don't think you're kicking a field goal. Power eye. That's normally what you get here. You know, Brian Milne, of course, the guy to watch. 4th and a foot for the first down. 4th and 2 for the touchdown. Carter in motion. Milne near the goal line. He'll have the first down. Does not have the touchdown, but it'll be 1st and goal inside the 1 for Penn State.
First down, Penn State.
Watch a surge by the offensive line on this replay. You don't even see any purple pants or white jerseys. Great surge by the offensive line. Give them all the credit for that first down. Milton basically just had to dive over the pile.
Well, now it's a matter of a smorgasbord choice. You can give it the touchdown to whoever you like. Who's on Fran Gantner's good list? Who was a good boy during the week?
I think we might see Kajana Carter go in the end zone.
All right, he's got 2 today. Milne goes to the wing. That almost eliminates him. He comes in motion to block. Kajana Carter into the end zone for his 3rd touchdown of the day. Scott Fitzke, you've been around a football game a time or two. Penn State leads at 44-10.
I like Kajana after he scored that touchdown, ran right over to the official, gave the official a ball and gave him a big hug.
Like Joe Paterno said, look, if you get in the end zone, act like you've been there before. You don't go dancing around.
Absolutely, and what a first-class person Kajana Carter is. Of course, we've seen him on interviews and heard him talk on radio interviews, and all Kajana Carter talks about is his offensive line, is we got to win the next game, and I'm just very happy to be in the names of the Heisman Trophy. But that's the kind of player that Joe recruits.
Present company included. Here's the touchdown. Kajana Carter's 3rd touchdown today, his 18th of the season, all on the ground.
Well, that's a great call because you got 3 offensive linemen, another tight end against 2 defensive players. Great call by the offense. Great coaching by Penn State, seeing something in films where they knew, given that situation down on the goal line, that's how they could score a touchdown.
Well, look how strong he is too, Scott, because Danny Sutter is 2nd in the tackles in the Big Ten. He's a very good linebacker, and Carter just so strong through the thighs, the waist, the hips, just shakes off guys. You know, something that we really ought to talk about. We talked about Penn State losing only 3 offensive starters next year. Kyle Brady, Kerry Collins. They are obligated to go. Bucky Greeley being the other one. Some other guys have some eligibility, could come back, could go to the NFL draft. What's your sense on Kajana Carter, Scott?
It's hard to say. 99% of the players that pay at Penn State come back. I think the only one I can think of that went to the NFL was Richie Anderson a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But majority of the players come back and play another year at Penn State because of the atmosphere, because they want to get their education, they want to finish out their schooling, and Joe preaches that. He would like them to stay for their education. I would say right now everybody's going to come back. Of course, if they win the national championship, Kajana wins the Heisman, maybe it's his best bet to go make $3 million and take care of his family or whatever it may be.
Well, people talk about Rashaan Salam, but I will tell you this, I have not seen a better running back in the country than Kajana Carter. In fact, he's the best Penn State running back I've seen in a very long time. 5:31 to play in the 3rd quarter. Penn State leading 45-10. The kickoff by Brett Conway. This is Brian Musso for the 20. Still on his feet. 25, 26. And Northwestern will start from there. Coaches have to find things to complain about. They'll probably complain about Penn State's tackling on special teams and on defense. Brian King made that stop. It'll be 1st and 10 Northwestern, their own 26. Penn State with its longest scoring drive, 85 yards, 13 plays. Kajana Carter with a 1-yard run, his 3rd touchdown run of the day.
Still 85 yards in 5 minutes is a pretty quick drive.
Tim Hughes Still a quarterback. Schnurr played well, but threw 2 very bad interceptions and was yanked out of the game. Here comes Darnell Autry, who has just been as good a player as there has been on the field for either team. No gain. Noble makes the tackle for Penn State, the sophomore from Virginia Beach, Virginia. No gain for Autry. 2nd down and 10. Penn State staying with basically its #1 defensive unit. Under 5 minutes to play in the 3rd.
I would think pretty soon we would start to see some backup players, some substitutes coming in the game. Halfway through the 3rd quarter, everybody likes the opportunity to get out and play. Of course, all year long, most players have gotten the opportunity to play.
2nd down and 10 after the no gain, and now Tim Hughes is going to call timeout. 4:39 to play, 3rd quarter.
Northwestern.
Is that John? Get that big blimp off the field, Grohall. Look at him. After the Northwestern timeout, it is 2nd down and 10 at their own 26-yard line. Slot to the right. Tim Hughes at quarterback. Center's in motion. He's been quiet since the 2nd quarter. Hughes firing, ball up in the air for grabs, incomplete. It went off the hands of the tight end, Shane Graham. Up for grabs, Jason Collins dove for it. It'll be 3rd and 10. And the total yardage evening out here, Scott, you know, there's such a tremendous disparity. But right now, Northwestern 356 total yards. Penn State is catching up at 319.
I think the reason they're catching up because they had the opportunity to have the ball. Here we're looking to score by quarters. Basically the game over at halftime, 38-3, and even going into the 3rd quarter.
Hughes now 4 out of 6, has not yet thrown interception. Penn State blitzing. Hughes in trouble. Sack back at the 11-yard line. Todd Atkins, who clearly is the defensive player of the game, along with Kim Herring, gets the sack all the way back at the 11. And it'll be 4th down. 25.
Here you see the difference between Hughes and Schnurr. He learned a lesson from the 1st quarter. Schnurr, instead of trying to throw the ball into one of the Penn State players' hands, he decided to tuck it and take the sack.
Give Willie Smith some credit for the pressure. There is Todd Atkins. Leads the Nittany Lions in sacks. Couple today, the junior from Newcastle, PA. This is Paul Burton. This is not a great kick from the Big Ten leader. Gets a great roll, though. Archie picks it up. The 40, 45, got the picket wall flag down, got it to the 48-yard line. Mike Archie struggling to get outside, and there was a wall there, but he couldn't quite get there. May have been aided by an illegal block, and that'll move Penn State back. Brian Gelsheiser is going to get called for a chop block, and that'll move the ball back 15 from the spot of the infraction, back near the Penn State 35. There's the block on the back. You know, Mike Archie reminds me a lot.
Illegal block in the back. On the return team, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
Mike Archie, Scott, reminds me a great deal of Jonathan Williams back in the 82 team. That kind of all-purpose guy, returns kicks. By the way, Wally Richardson now in at quarterback. Archie stays in at tailback. Justin Williams and wide out. We'll get the rest of the lineup. I want to get their names out to you. Barry Tilsch is now at center. The first team is pretty much out of the ball game. Olsheimer is the tight end. This is Mike Archie. Across the 35 to the 36. Gain of a yard. 2nd down and 9. Richardson's statistics, he's completed 14 out of 30. The sophomore from Sumter, South Carolina. Has not thrown a touchdown pass. Has not been intercepted. So Kerry Collins and Kajana Carter's days are over. 2nd down and 9, Penn State. Carter finishes the afternoon with 107 yards on 12 carries and 3 touchdowns. So he can set the Penn State 100-yard game record next week. Richardson's pass is tipped and almost intercepted by Jeff Shine, number 47. Incomplete. 3rd down and 9 for Penn State. Penn State, although there are big fish to fry in 1994, an undefeated season, national championship. Gary Collins, we talk about losing 3 offensive starters. None are more important than he, so Wally Richardson apparently is the man to pick up the baton, and he's going to have to get ready to lead what should be an excellent 95 Penn State team. Richardson in trouble. He's going to be sacked back at his own 27-yard line. Casey Daly, number 36, gets his second sack of the year, and that'll force Penn State to punt for only the second time this afternoon.
What they've done with Richardson, Stan, to give him an opportunity. You know, he hasn't really gotten a lot of game time, and you saw by his statistics, but Coach Paterno, they go out, stay a little bit later in practice, and he gives him the opportunity to throw against the defense and throw with a lot of the first-team wideouts just to get that feel to play with the first-team players, to give him a little bit more experience in practice.
Daryl Caney's kick is a beauty. Brian Musso retreating, and he is going to be stopped and dropped at the 19-yard line. Terrific special teams play by Thad Brannon coming down. He not only hit him, he wouldn't let go as Musso tried to spin out of there. Excellent play, and Northwestern will start just shy of their 20-yard line. Let's watch
Here you'll
it
see
again.
Musso, he keeps running. Looks like he breaks a couple tackles. Then you'll see Brennan come out of nowhere. Watch his head snap back when Brennan hits him. Here he'll keep going. He keeps his knees off the ground. Wham!
That's the way it is taught.
There, Brennan, number 30, happy about his hit, along with a lot of his teammates.
For those who have never played, that actually feels good. Not on the receiving end, but on the delivering end. That feels good, feels solid. Autry breaks tackles again and gets a first down at the 30-yard line. He gets up very slowly. Atkins finally makes the tackle. Yeah, I suppose if you're watching on the one hand, you can say, what's all these missed tackles? But let's give credit to Autry. Sometimes the guy makes you miss, too.
Autry makes you miss, and Northwestern's offensive line has played a pretty good football game. There have been some plays where they've been absolutely stuffed clean, but Autry running for 156 yards, they've played a pretty good football game against a good defense.
The measurement for the first down. He's got it. Give him a 10-yard gain. He now has 166 yards rushing. That's a terrific performance.
Here, Autry on his first 10 games has 385 yards. It's about halfway point.
Yep.
Of course, the way I add, he's about halfway. Actually, he's a little bit less than halfway.
Close enough
to
for
his
our
total.
purposes.
Of course, this is the first time he's got the opportunity to carry the ball 30 times in a game.
Tim Hughes on the rollout, evades one potential tackler, gets 5 to the 36-yard line before he's dropped by Willie Smith. A gain of 5 on the scramble, not designed that way, but a gain of 5, second down and 5. Bobby Jackson is the running back in there, replacing Autry.
That play there really is kind of showed why Northwestern has had so many problems offensively last year. Hughes dropped back, and instead of looking downfield as he was running for receivers, he had one of his tight ends, Darren Drexler, wide open, but he wasn't looking downfield as he was running back. Therefore, he had to run the ball instead of being able to throw it downfield.
Autry back in with a handoff, and he's going to be stopped by Gelsheiser, who made a big hit on. There is a flag on the play. The play was stopped for no gain. It would have been 3rd down and 5. And again, Gelsheiser attempting to move into second place on Penn State's all-time career tackle list, passing Dennis Oncotz. He's very close. He'll certainly do it next week against Michigan State.
There are offsetting fouls on the play. Offside on the defense, holding on the offense, replay, second down.
And Northwestern actually gets the better of that as we hear from referee Jim Kemmerling.
Here you'll see Gelsheiser on the tackle. Actually, Todd Atkins stopped the play, and Atkins was held and pushed, or whatever he did to him, causing Autry to have to cut back. Gelsheiser being the linebacker's position where he's supposed to be filling that hole, made the tackle.
I think Atkins was also the guy, however, who was offside. So you
That's why he was upfield so quickly.
exactly. That's why they had to hold him. No play, 2nd down and 4. Hughes, pump fake, he's sacked. Willie Smith, blindside. I don't think Hughes ever saw him. It was a very short drop, which makes it all the more remarkable. Only a 3-yard drop. The loss is back to the 30-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and 8 yards as the clock runs under 20 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter, and that will be the last play of the 3rd quarter.
Willie Smith, 6 sacks this year as opposed to 1 you could see had he had the last 3 years. Here, watch the quick pump fake. It's only a 2-step drop. Quick pump fake to center. Centers who actually beat Malcolm Forbes on the outside if he would have had the opportunity to throw the ball. When you only drop back 2 yards, makes it pretty tough to be able to throw the ball.
Well, we have reached the end of the 3rd quarter of play. Each team scoring a touchdown in the 3rd quarter. The score, Penn State 45, Northwestern 10. He showed me nothing so far this year. First play of the 4th quarter, Northwestern facing a 3rd down and 8 at its own 32-yard line. Penn State jumping out to a 38-3 lead. Each team scores a touchdown in the 3rd quarter. 45-10, 3rd down 8 Northwestern. Hughes throwing in the flat. The pass is complete for a 1st down. And the pass.
Tim Hughes pass. Complete to number 86, Dave Beasley.
Beasley makes the reception his first catch of the afternoon, and it's good for a Northwestern 1st down. So far, Tim Hughes has been pretty effective. He hasn't taken many chances, and they really haven't thrown the ball downfield at all, Scott.
Well, I think their whole game plan to come in the game was run the ball as much as they can, and when they had to pass the ball, don't throw more than 10 yards downfield. Everything had to be extremely conservative. That way they could stay in the football game.
Centers goes in motion to the far side, and this is Darnell Autry hit in the backfield and dropped for a loss by Todd Atkins again, who has just made life miserable for number 76, Todd Basic, on that side of the Northwestern offensive line. He's just beaten him to death.
Here you'll see in the lower part of your screen, Atkins, he just beats his man up. Beats him right off the line of scrimmage.
That time he got Padgett, the guard, playing next to Basic.
Well, he's beat both of them all day long.
They flip-flop, like Penn State. They flip-flop their offensive linemen. Todd Atkins now, 9 tackles, 6 solos. Gelsheiser's, by the way, has 6 solos and 12 total. 2nd down, 15. Hughes fires incomplete, looking over the middle, close to being intercepted. Pass intended for Darren Drexler. It'll be 3rd down and 15. Brian King in on the deflection. 3rd down and long. And a good rush by Aaron Collins coming in from outside. Number 6, the freshman from Cinnaminson, New Jersey, part of the football-playing Collins family, including Andre, playing for the Washington Redskins. 3rd down, 15. Penn State drawn again. There's the handoff to Autry, who's very close to the 1st down.
Number 24, Darnell Autry, the ball.
Darnell Autry has just tortured Penn State on his way to a 200-yard game. Now, Northwestern's going to have an option, either 4th and 2 or 3rd and 10. I think they'll take the 4th and 2. Jason Collins finally made the tackle. The gain is 13.
Here you'll see Autry from behind. Nice big hole. Offensive line making a lot of holes for Autry. Autry there shifting, making a real nice run.
Great block there by O'Dwyer
Offside.
downfield.
He's
On
going
the
to know it
defense.
by when the
Penalties
game's over that he's
declined.
been in a football
4th
game.
down.
35 carries so far today. He's going to know he was in a football game.
Well, as I suspected, they're going to decline the penalty, take the 13-yard gain to make it 4th down, and 2 yards to go for a 1st down. 13:30 to play in the game. Darnell Autry. Boy, what a day he has had. He's a true freshman from Tempe, Arizona. 165 yards rushing on 36 carries. 4th down and 2. Hughes looking, firing, and it is caught for a first down.
Great catch by Centers.
Boy, he's made some acrobatic catches. Michael Centers, a poorly thrown ball by Hughes, but he made it work for a first down at the Penn State 44-yard line.
Great catch by Centers. He's a little bit happy about that.
He's a senior, leading receiver on this club.
I thought that ball went through his hands and into the Penn State sideline. But really, if you look at it, it's about the only place Hughes could have put the ball because I don't know if it was Brian King or Forbes almost intercepted. Here we'll get a chance to see it.
This is against the Penn State #1 defense, by the way, in case you're wondering. A little wobbly. Way to the outside. It was Jason Collins who came up.
Actually, a pretty nice catch.
Well, we got confusion at the line of scrimmage. And timeout is called by Northwestern.
Sure was a herky-jerky timeout call.
Northwestern, their second.
Thought for a minute Penn State was offside for the 18th time today. Rutgers. Tip-off for that contest is 2 p.m. So pack some turkey sandwiches and plan on spending your Thanksgiving weekend at Penn State. 1st and 10, Northwestern at the 42-yard line. It was not a charge timeout, a malfunction of the 25-second clock. Hughes throws complete, short gain inside the 40 for 3 yards to the 39-yard line on the quick out pattern. Chuck Penzenik, sophomore from Akron, Ohio, number 29, makes the stop for the Nittany Lions. Gain of 3 for the Wildcats, 2nd down and 7. Second down, 7, Northwestern at the Penn State 39. Reverse set up, but it's a fake. Hughes looking deep for Gamble, overthrown and almost intercepted by Jason Collins.
Hughes didn't even look where he just faked the handoff, faked the reverse, and threw it downfield without even looking, not even realizing that Penn State had 3 backs as opposed to their 1.
Collins was the man closest to it, the only one with a legitimate chance to catch. Chris Gamble, who has the touchdown pass for Northwestern today, was triple covered. Collins, the brother of Ahmad, we talked about him a little bit earlier, brother of Aaron, excuse me, the sophomore starting at hero back in place of Clint Holes, had coverage on this all the way. 3rd down and 7, Northwestern at the Penn State 39. Hughes, center screen, the pass complete to Autry, who just does everything for this team. He's got himself a first down inside the 30-yard line. Willie Smith makes the tackle, but Darnell Autry, there is an Adrian Autry on this team, no relation. Darnell Autry makes his first pass reception of the game, and it gives Northwestern a first down. They've got a ton of those.
Their Autry showed where, talk about a running back following your blocks. He could have easily tried to get upfield and make more yardage, but he ran behind 2 of his offensive linemen and cut back. That enabled him to get to the first down.
Whopping edge for Northwestern at first downs, 25-16. They keep the football, 11:50 to play. Autry, who's got to be tired by now, breaks another tackle. He's to the 26. Give him another 5 yards rushing. Brian Gelsheiser made the tackle, but Darnell Autry really has made life difficult for the Penn State defense. And again, I point out, and I think it's prudent to do so, this is Penn State's #1 defense.
We didn't really think we were going to see a whole lot of Autry after the first 2 series when he was hurt twice, came off the field twice. One that looked like an ankle and one with a hand, but he's come back and really showed no effects of those injuries early on.
I wonder if Jerry Sandusky and Joe Paterno are trying to teach the defense a lesson and send them a message. We're not real happy with your play. Autry again. This time hit at the line of scrimmage. Stopped for virtually no gain by Philia Boakoti and Brandon Noble, which will bring up 3rd down and 4. 10 minutes and 50 seconds to play in the game. Autry now 171 yards rushing.
You know, you look at Northwestern's situation, and you always hear Northwestern in the Big Ten. They're a big academic school. I think Northwestern's got 12 or 13 engineering students. They got 5 or 6 medical students. And you know, at Northwestern, not unlike most of the Big Ten universities, classes take priority over football practice.
Hughes, and sacked for a loss. Willie Smith, his second sack of the day, his 7th of the year. And that'll force Northwestern to go for it on 4th down and about 13 yards for a first down.
Let's see if we can watch Willie Scott here beat his man.
I can't believe it. Well, go ahead, Scott.
Well, it's pretty easy to beat
No one
somebody
blocks
when
you.
nobody blocks you. Just a big hole opened up for Willie Smith, ran right up the middle of the field, made the tackle. Stan, you and I could have done that.
Well, maybe
Well,
not.
I could have done it.
He'd have run away from me. Somehow, some ways, for some reason, Northwestern's going to attempt a 52-yard field goal here instead of going for it. It's no good. Sam Balancisi, who has one today and is a very good kicker, misses a 52-yard field goal. That logic escapes me, but
Well,
I'm not a coach.
You got to remember that Northwestern probably has one of the best kicking games in the country. So
I read that somewhere.
they wanted to take
Who said
advantage
that?
of that.
Who said that? So Penn State will take over on downs with 9:33. And Wally Richardson needs to get this second-team offense going a little bit. They've had one series here since they've taken over. That was in the 3rd quarter, and they had 3 downs and out. Really kind of surprised. I would think at 4th down and 12 or 13, you need to go for that. It's not going to have an impact on the game anyway, but Gary Barnett chooses to kick the field goal. He's got a whole offseason to rest now. This is Northwestern's last game. Penn State, of course, will finish up next Saturday. And in case you missed it, haven't seen it, it's a 4 o'clock kickoff, not the customary 1 o'clock.
He's got to be a little bit frustrated. They didn't play a bad football game, but when you turn the ball over and you have some of the problems and situations that Northwestern's had, you got to be extremely frustrated because you harp about turnovers. Every single coach does.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about the comparisons between this 1994 offense and the one from 1982, which is a national championship and a great outfit there. You can see that Kerry Collins closing in on Todd Blackledge's 22 touchdown passes. Kerry now with 19. Kurt Warner and Kajana Carter. A lot of the elements were very much the same, although I do think that Penn State's receivers this year are better than the 82 group as a whole. That is Stephen Pitts with the carry. And he gets 9 yards out to the 44-yard line. William Bennett. What do you think about that, Scott, in terms of the running game's good, quarterbacks excellent? I do think that there are more wideouts capable of quick strike capabilities than in 1982.
I think overall they had some great wideouts in '82, but overall you compare Ingram and Freddie Scott, and they're very similar. I mean, they're 2 great wide receivers that are going to make any All-American team. They're both going to get an opportunity to play in the NFL. And I think overall skilled positions, this team beats any team that you've seen at Penn State, except the '78 team.
I think this offensive line, Pitts, by the way, stopped short of the first down. It'll be 3rd down and 1, no gain there. This offensive line, I think, is better than '82. You had Sean Farrell on that team. The tight ends, Mike McCloskey was a big weapon. So is Kyle Brady. You had Kenny Jackson, of course, at one wideout. You had Greg Garrity, who had good speed but was used as a kind of a possession guy.
Anytime you bring up a name from the '82 team, you got 1 or 2 names from this team that you compare it to.
And they give him the fullback, Brian Milne, who's still in there. He gets 3 for a first down across the 45 to the 46, and a Penn State first down.
A lot of pro scouts called Jeff Hardings one of the best offensive linemen in college football, and sure to be a first-round draft choice. A fellow by the name of Ernie Zampese, who was a wide receiver coach, offensive coordinator at San Diego when they were the great Dan Fouts teams, and he's now with Dallas Cowboys. It just talked about Kerry Collins, who right now he says that Kerry Collins is the #1 quarterback in college football.
Pass by Richardson. His first completion of the day goes to Justin Williams. The gain is 4 to the Northwestern 49. Hudaifa Ismaili makes the tackle. freshman from Pittsburgh. I do know that the Carolina Panthers are looking very closely at Kerry Collins as their first pick. Now, they don't have the first overall pick in the draft, but they're looking at him. 2nd down and 6, Penn State at the Northwestern 49. Chris Campbell in motion. This is Pitts. Inside, fighting his way to the Northwestern 45. 2 yards shy of the first down. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
We all know Stephen Pitts is very hungry to run the football and to have a good football game. Of course, 2 years ago, Pitts was one of the 3 men in the battle for the starting job, and really 2 years ago had an opportunity to play a lot, but we haven't seen him this much this year. Now he's getting a chance to play, and he wants to make some big plays.
Well, you know, should they all choose, Kajana Carter can come back, Archie can come back, Pitts can come back, and you've got Ambrose Fletcher. Other than that, no running backs. 3rd down and 2, Penn State. Pitts, no gain. People in the stands we can hear are actually mad because Penn State didn't get a first down. Bill Cozile makes the stop. It's 45-10. 6 minutes and 25 seconds to play in the football game. I guess you pays your money, you earns your right to complain.
You know, and all the people in the stands, they follow the media. What they want to do is they want to see 60, 70 points.
Right.
Because they want Penn State to be voted #1. And, you know, a lot of people feel that when you get to 1 and 2 like that, it's a matter of score and that's it.
Not anymore. I mean, we're at a point in the season now where, you know, unless Nebraska loses to Oklahoma, that's the way it's going to stay.
Right.
Fair catch called for and taken by Musso at the 17-yard line, and Nebraska will take over. We'll be back with more Big Ten football after these messages from your local station. This is the Penn State Sports Network, a division of Paxson Sports. Okay.
3rd quarter, Texas Tech 24, Houston nothing.
This is a strike. All 10 pins are down on Penn State's schedule, including today's walloping of Northwestern. And the Nittany Lions with a record of 10-0. Northwestern now will go past Illinois on the bottom with only Michigan State, barring the perfect season heading into the bowl season. January the 2nd at Pasadena. And that is the tail of the tape football version. One close call. Well, 2 really, Michigan and Illinois both.
And today, Ohio State beat Michigan.
That may or may not save John Cooper's job. It may get some people talking about Gary Moeller up there. It also takes a little bit of the sting out of beating Michigan at Michigan. They won't lower Penn State in the rankings. Michigan's sitting there with 4 defeats.
But it adds to a 63-14 win over Ohio State.
Yep, you're right. There's the trade-off there. Autry picks up a yard for the 19th. 2nd down and 9. The clock runs. 5 minutes, 35 seconds to play. This game was decided fairly early. Penn State had a 14-0 lead with 2 offensive plays. 17-0 lead with 6 offensive plays. 17-3, then 24-31, 38-3, 38-10, 45-10. That's where we're at now. Hughes looking, throwing, got his tight end for a first down at the 32-yard line. The pass completed to Darren Drexler. His 3rd catch of the game gives the Wildcats their 26th first down of the afternoon. They have moved the ball, just haven't been able to push it in. 4 turnovers in the first half just killed them. Quarterback Hughes now 9 for 12. His predecessor, Schnurr, the starter, was 10 out of 14, but he threw 2 interceptions. Hughes fires, complete for a first down at the 50-yard line. Pass for Gamble, and he has an 18-yard catch. The other side of the 50 for a first down for the Wildcats. Gamble has the touchdown pass today, playing his last game as a Wildcat, as is Michael Centers, the wideout on the other side.
Hughes doing a nice job, 10 for 13 for 138 yards, touchdown, no interceptions. Like we mentioned earlier, Hughes isn't even in the press, guys. We were trying to find him earlier, but being a junior college transfer and getting to the university late, I guess they didn't have time to put him in.
Hughes in trouble and fires, but he gets it at the feet of the intended receiver, Brad Scioli. Number 5 was the man who put the rush on him, but unlike Schnurr earlier, he threw the ball into the ground, which is what Schnurr probably should have done on the interception to, of all people, Brad Scioli, which set up a Penn State touchdown at the 17-yard line.
This is a great time for a defensive lineman. When you're winning 45-10, got 5 minutes to go, most likely the offense is going to throw the ball. So you can just tee off, rush the passer. What else do you have to do?
Number 70, Boris Oden, is in there. He came to Penn State as an offensive lineman, now playing defense. 2nd down and 10. Hard driving Darnell Autry, who will make that Bobby Jackson, the ball carrier. Number 42, picks up 7 yards to the Penn State 42-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and 3. 4 minutes and 15 seconds to play in the football game. Bobby Jackson giving Darnell Autry a well-deserved rest. Will end up rushing for over 170 yards on the afternoon. 3rd down and 3 Northwestern. Jackson, 1st down. He stopped at the Penn State 36-yard line. Boris Oden makes the tackle. 1st and 10, Northwestern at the 36-yard line. The clock running, 3:45 to play. Hughes getting the signal from the sidelines and head coach Gary Barnett. Again, Barnett is an offensive coach. 8 years he coached for Bill McCartney at Colorado. The last year he was there, he was the offensive coordinator. Play clock is run out.
Dead ball, delay of game on the offense.
Besides being a great offensive coordinator, Barnett at Colorado was known as a great recruiter. And I think it's shown here at Northwestern. When he came to Northwestern, they were very, very low. And, of course, early in this season, they won a couple of good football games, played Ohio State real tough, and really played a pretty good football game besides turnovers.
Penn State has had a number of sacks this afternoon, 4 of them. Picked off 2, picked up a fumble, hurried. 5 passes, knocked down 8. They've been all over the Northwestern quarterbacks. Really, it's the running game they haven't been able to stop. This is Jackson. Big hole up the middle, 30, 25, and inside the 25 to the 24, and a Northwestern 1st down. Brian King, the last resort, made the tackle. As Bobby Jackson picking up where Darnell Autry left off, a 1st down for the Wildcats.
Here you'll see just a big wide hole open up for Jackson. I mean, that's a big hole. And Jackson just runs right up the middle and gets an opportunity to try to run over somebody. That was a big hole.
Pretty big when you don't get touched until you're 19 yards downfield.
I think the big negative on Penn State today is and like it's been a lot of times during the years, they've just allowed too much rushing, too many yards rushing.
Jackson again. A gaping hole. He's down to the 6-yard line, and you should have seen the Northwestern sideline jumping up and down. They want to score a touchdown. You know, it's been a tough season for them, even though they are 3-1 on the road this year. They want to score one more time. Remember, this is the last time they'll touch the ball this season. This is the end for them. 1st down, clock running, 2.5 to play in a football game. 1st down, goal at the 6. Hughes with an audible. Why not Bobby Jackson? And even though he's hit after a 2-yard gain, he gets another 2 inside the 2. It'll be 2nd down and goal. King hit him, and so did Scioli, but it's a 4-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and goal from just outside the 1-yard line.
Here we'll see it again, another nice big hole. Bobby Jackson keeps his legs rolling. Nice tackle by King, getting up there and putting his face mask in the numbers. And Jackson's a big man, a nice tackle by defensive back.
Second and goal. I don't know why you try anything else but the tailback up the middle. Jackson. Now they signal a touchdown. Bit delayed, and the Northwestern sideline is happy. Bobby Jackson bangs his way into the end zone with 1:28 to play, and Northwestern gets its second touchdown of the afternoon.
And Bobby Jackson, a fifth-year senior for Northwestern, scoring the first touchdown of his career.
You know, and that may be exactly why the sideline was so excited, because here's a kid who's been out and played for so long. He gets to score a touchdown in a Big Ten game. They can't take that away from him. Extra point is good. So Northwestern, with its second-team offensive unit in there, marches for a touchdown. And I wouldn't be at all surprised to see him try another onside kick with 1:28 to play.
I think that's probably what we'll see. I think you have to give the Northwestern team a lot of credit for coming out here and playing 5 minutes and 39 seconds and scoring 38 points. I would call that a strange game. Of course, we called up a lot this second half. Penn State now had the ball almost 20 minutes. Northwestern a little bit more than that.
Fallon Sizzy, he'll kick it away. Clock does not start till the ball's touched in the field of play. Stephen Pitts, hit, run out of bounds. You know, the guy who voted Penn State 6th in the coaches poll last week will probably point out that Northwestern won the second half 14-7 and vote him 9th.
Do you know who that was?
No, I don't. I do know someone who does know who it is. Bino Cook knows who it is and won't tell me. Imagine that. Probably Jackie Sherrill. I don't know if they let him vote anymore. He's in charge of cattle. Mike McQuarrie at quarterback. This is Ambrose Fletcher with a carry. And he gets 3 to the 39. Clock running with 1 minute and 15 seconds left to play. Northwestern has 1 timeout left. I doubt if they'll use it at this point. There's the State College native, Mike McQuarrie. Does he have to throw a pass this year? I think he's going to have to wait at least another week. Second down, 7. Fletcher, that's a big hole. Can't quite break a tackle. Matt Stewart, number 30, made the stop. Gets a couple more. Clock running. 30 seconds now to play in the football game. Third down and about a yard. Penn State does not have to run a play if they choose not to. See the time remaining. And a hand off to the fullback who slips and falls, but no matter. That will signal the end of the football game. Penn State awarded a first down, but more importantly, they are awarded their 10th victory of the season as Joe Paterno congratulates Gary Barnett. The Northwestern team really was scrappy, Scott, and played much better than the score would indicate.
Well, I think they played a lot better than we expected to. They came in and they basically dominated Penn State's defense as far as running the ball and a lot of short passes.